y'all still hear me? Okay. What about now?
You sound good.
Perfect.
Okay, we are live. Welcome Keisha back. Now Trish is out this week. I said Trish is out this week, so we got Bree covering for Trish.
Hey
All
everyone.
right. Hey, Bree.
Hey Keys. Hey everyone. Happy Friday.
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and jump into this because I know I'm like 5 or 6 minutes late, and sorry about that, you guys. Somehow I had to reset my Wi-Fi because the power cord was out the wall when I got ready to originally sign on. So it's almost like rebooting the whole modem all over again when you plug it up. So that's why we're a few minutes late. So my apologies on that. But welcome you guys to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where Keisha, Bree, and I will be recapping The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of September 18th through the 22nd. And what y'all feel about this week?
There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. I mean, especially when it comes to Young and the Restless. Oh my goodness. It's so
I
much
have
going.
whiplash trying to keep up with that.
I know. It's like it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we normally recap The Young and the Restless in the first half of the show, The Bold and the Beautiful in the second half of the show, and then we do our flip the script segment and who's taking several seats. Lately, we've been doing the star of the week, so so far that's been going pretty well. So we'll do that too. As Jay Money said that he heard you in the background when the intro came on.
Oh, my bad. What was
Remember
I saying?
when you were asking if we could hear you?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, so let me go ahead and do the summary, and we're gonna break down the storylines. The storylines. Okay, hold on. Young and the Restless. Okay. So for the week of the 18th through the 22nd, Adam kisses Sally. Victoria worries about Victor's mental health as Victor gets his portrait out of storage and reclaim his office. Tucker offers Phyllis $2 million to hack into a company. Tessa returns and Billy has a warning for Phyllis. Victor keeps a secret on who bought his piece of Chancellor-Winters, and Tucker asks Phyllis to hack into Billy's accounts. Audra is forced to fire cops and Billy reaches out to Tucker. Phyllis agrees to Tucker's offer. Diane urges Jack to can Billy, and Audra tells Kyle to go back to Summer. All right, so where y'all want to start?
I guess we can kind of start in the beginning of the week. I think it was like Sharon and Mariah and Tessa. I guess we could start there.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I'm a little bit annoyed with Sharon and Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
The way they keep Adam had nothing to do with any of the conversation, but the way they throw Adam and Summer under the bus, it was so annoying to me. As if they are like the business masterminds to have any stable job. It seems like Mariah is just a tip, just like Nick is. She's going from job to job to job. But okay, I could understand she doesn't like Summer, but just the way that you find any and every reason to throw shade at that girl, and that girl gave you a job. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, what you think, Keish?
You already know how I feel about Mariah.
Yeah.
And the whole Summer dynamic. So I was also annoyed with that scene too, because when Sharon brought up that she thinks she's got competition with Summer when it comes to Chance, and Mariah's all like, well, we can't let Summer ruin this for you, and blah. And I'm like, Summer hasn't even done anything.
At all.
Right. Just because Sharon noticed that maybe she seemed a little happy to see Chance when weren't they in the park or something like that when they all three were together?
Right.
Just because she may have picked up on something, doesn't mean that there's any action that needs to be taken because she hasn't done anything. And is Sharon and Chance, are they even in a committed relationship?
No.
No.
Like, what am I missing here?
They hooked up one time, and that was
right. So it's just like the way that Mariah was talking about her was as if Summer and Chance had been in some long-term relationship, and here comes, or not Summer, Sharon and Chance have been in some long-term relationship, and here comes Summer, like, I don't know, flaunting herself in front of Chance and trying to steal him away from Sharon. It's like, chill out.
I agree. You know what? I'm so sick. First of all, I'm sick and tired of them throwing Adam's name anytime that they can have a conversation about anything that seems to be going wrong. If the sun is outside and it's 90 degrees, it's Adam's fault. If the cat ran away, it's Adam's fault. I mean, if you didn't get your dinner on time, that's Adam's fault too. It's like, come on. At some point, some of y'all got to take responsibility for your own actions. Now, did he do the blackmailing of Audra? Of course, but so have Victor. Victor has.
Yeah. You guys still there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, its sound went out for a second, but it once again, Sharon is going to be competing with her ex-husband's daughter. Over a man that she hooked up with. They're both glorified rebounds. He's getting over his divorce, and she had just lost Ray after a year. So they both just got what they needed out of each other. And plus, I mean, I've been looking at Chance. And I've been adoring and just loving how he looks. So does that make me after him? If so, then can I have him?
Yeah, I just think Sharon jumped to too many conclusions, and then of course Summer is jumping right on that bandwagon, and I have a feeling that the next time we see Summer and Mariah together, she's going to bring it up, or she's going to say something to Summer about it, and it's going to be unnecessary drama. That's none of Mariah's business, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's just, I mean, that's all she pretty much had going on. And then Tessa came home, was like, oh, I wanted to go to the appointment. And I fully understand and respect, this is a real issue that happens with a lot of kids. And I understand they wanted to come home and spend time with their child. But other than that, there's really not much going on with Mariah besides her having an opinion about what's going on in Kyle's life, in Summer's life, in Adam's life. She just has all these opinions, but forgets how we know her and how she came into town, terrorizing her mother.
Thank you. Nobody ever brings that up to her, although she likes to throw Summer's, previous bad behavior in her face, or, whatever it is she doesn't like about her.
Yeah, Mariah needs to go take several seats. I mean, seriously, she always have something to say about somebody, whether it's Phyllis, I mean, not Phyllis, whether it's, even Phyllis, whether it's Summer or Adam. It's like, girl, stop. You act like that you're Miss Saintly or somebody. Like you guys said, when she came to town, she was gaslighting her own mama.
Right.
Being this ghost of Cassie or whatever that Victor hired to drive her insane. You know what I'm saying? Now, they brought Tessa back. And the thing is that this spoiler this week was like she was supposed to be coming back with something shocking. And it's like, I didn't see anything. Did you guys see something? Did I miss anything with Tessa? Or just the fact that they had some, that she came back and then they spent time together?
I missed it too if there was something that happened, because I didn't see anything either.
She got highlights in her hair. There you
go. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, I was like, okay, so what's happening with Tessa? And then they came back and she was shocked to see her because I guess there was some flights or storms or something, and she showed up at Sharon's house, and then they went back home and spent time together. So I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, But some people are saying that the Jasmine Williams saying that Mariah and Tessa are a snooze. Do you think?
I agree with Jasmine.
Yeah,
they have been boring for some years now. Whenever the last time that Mariah was interesting, that her character was interesting, was when she was pregnant, when they were going through all that drama.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say before that.
You think before that, Bree?
Yeah, because like even how she got with Tessa, because she was with Noah, and then Mariah was trying to fight her feelings, and then all that drama that came with Tessa and her sister. That's where Mariah really was a little bit interesting, and then Mariah and Tessa lived happily ever after, and it's just like a snooze fest.
Yeah, I mean, they really haven't given them. I mean, they had the baby story with the hearing and stuff like that, but they really haven't gave them a script to really make that couple lively. You know what I mean? So I don't know. All right, let's move on. So let's talk about this whole thing with Phyllis and Tucker. Girl, what is wrong with Phyllis?
She's an idiot.
She does.
And you know Phyllis is my girl, but good grief.
Yeah,
she ain't been back for 2 seconds, and she already back in some mess.
Girl, wait a minute. There's a spoiler alert, but he's going to be blackmailing Phyllis again because Tucker wants Phyllis to set Billy up for embezzlement.
Of course she's going to get blackmailed. Of course she is.
And now
she's an idiot.
Yeah, it's like you got out of jail by the skin of your teeth. And now you haven't been out of jail a good month. And now you already scheming, talking about, I have no other options. I have to do this. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Your son gave you an option.
Yes, he did. I was about to say, he gave her a job. He even said it's going to be an honest living. You can really prove yourself, and you can make payments to pay off of your debt. And she said, I had to think about it. What you got to think about, girl? You either want to put yourself in a position to go to jail, or you can work with your son and actually show you want to work on yourself.
Right.
It's really that simple. I hope that she would at least learn to stretch herself and not go into crimes. And the stuff that Jack said, ooh wee. He was like, I already said goodbye to you at your funeral. We have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, he said, as far as you're concerned, you're dead to me. I'm like, oh. Yeah. And he said the only connection that we had was those kids, and you blew that up too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was icy.
Like, I just can't feel sorry for Phyllis anymore. I mean, I guess I hadn't felt sorry for her in a while since she had this whole fake death scheme, but it's like you got your second chance, the second chance that she begged for, and you can't keep yourself out of trouble.
Nope.
She can't help herself.
Nope.
I got a question.
Okay.
So, because Phyllis this character has been a part of Y&R for almost 30 years now. Mm-hmm. So she didn't had all these husbands. She didn't had all this Newman divorce money. She didn't had a hotel. She didn't had all these assets. How did they get all wrapped up? All of her money wrapped up at Jeremy Stark to where she has to risk going to jail for just $2 million.
I didn't get that either. I'm like, did he really drain her money like that?
Well, according to her, she don't even know where the money is.
Because I remember seasons ago, I think there was a divorce settlement with her and Nick. I remember they said it was $10 million that she got from that. And I'm like, and I know she got money from the hotel because we don't see her working there anymore. So it's like, what did you do with all your money? It's like you making poor money to sit all these poor decision makers.
Because didn't he when she married him, right? When she supposedly died, he inherited her estate. When he inherited her estate, that's the money that he hid. So everything that she had, Jeremy got, but he hid it all. which is why she can't find it, which serves her right for getting involved in this whole scheme in the first place. All because she wanted to stop Jack from marrying Diane. And I know a lot of folks ain't a Diane fan. And lately I've been side-eyeing Diane myself. But at the end of the day, Jack still married her. The girl is now working at the head of HR at Jabot. All that was for nothing. And now you broke, and now you back in this hole trying to figure this out. And now Tucker has her under his thumb now. But that's what happened with her money. Jeremy inherited all, and then he hid it.
But here's the thing. She's a whole tech guru. That's why Tucker is hiring her. Why can't she just go and find her own money?
Because she wants something quick. She wants that big lump sum right now. So I'm assuming that's why she made this stupid decision to do this thing for Tucker. Instead of just working and building it up.
You know, when they have the name of this show, The Young and the Restless, she is, when you see her, she's the Restless.
Because and young in the
head. What'd you say, young in the head?
And young in the head, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, that perfectly describes her.
This girl cannot live without chaos. She has to be involved in some sort of chaos. Boring doesn't suit her. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I got to give it to Michelle Stafford for, she keeps it interesting, but it's stupid the choices Phyllis is making.
At all.
Yeah, it's frustrating being a fan of Phyllis, having to sit through this writing, that these storylines that they keep giving her, which are she's just being destructive. Like there has been times in the past where one thing after the other with her, like no break, no true realization that the stuff that she's doing is toxic and dangerous, and she's ruining relationships. She just keeps rolling right along in the stuff.
What'd you say, in the stuff?
And we'll use that.
And the thing is, how many more chances is her kids gonna give her? I mean, like you say, after she got out of jail, they still really didn't believe her. They about to walk away. And I mean, after telling Daniel the whole story about the $2 million that the creditors are coming after her for, Daniel was like, okay, look, you know what? Since the whole thing with Nick and Sharon ain't work out, look, just come over there. I'll give you a job at where I'm at. And like you said, Keisha, she wants fast money. It's like, do it the right way, and even Daniel said, make out a payment plan with the people. Nope. She want to do that, and from what I understand, I think it's supposed to blow up in her face next week too.
Of course.
But that's what she gets. It always blow up in her face.
Yep. There's a question.
Yep.
Do you guys think they can test her and Tucker? Because I feel like they're gonna put these two together romantically somehow. Because I thought they were gonna do the same thing with her and Billy, but I don't see that now. But her and Tucker, what do you guys think?
Well, looking at the fall previews, because Daniel Romalotti, or Danny, is coming back. They're talking about trying to do something between her, Cricket, because Cricket will be back, more scenes on camera. So, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to reignite this whole triangle between the three of them. But I don't think Tucker's on her radar, not according to what I saw in the fall preview.
Poor Paul.
I know.
Paul's in Portugal. We don't know what happened to this man. He living his life. He decided to get up out of Genoa City. Well, he didn't decide, but he got out of Genoa City and in Portugal, I guess. Poor Paul.
Girl, and like Jenna said, what is Danny coming back to put her in a triangle for? I mean, I don't know, girl. I don't know what they're going to do with that at this point. With her and Phyllis fighting over Danny? Would y'all be interested in that?
No, at all.
I feel like that's just a way to give Cricket a storyline.
That's a good point.
What else would she be on there for? Because there's really nothing else going on.
It's a
Yeah.
I don't care to see. So.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, they better make it good because other than that, it's like, what you bringing him back for? I mean, he came back for a short time during the whole gala thing, when they was bringing back all the old stars for the 50th anniversary back in March. But it's like, okay, so you're gonna give him a storyline. What is it gonna be about at this point? I mean, those days had came and went. What, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
With the whole thing with Cricket almost got ran over and they're fighting over him and Danny and I mean, Daniel came along as the son and all this sort of stuff. So I don't know. And Jenna said, why not give Phyllis her hotel back? Give her something to do. I mean, she could still play sneaky and maybe get involved in people's business, but give her something solid where she has her own job or something.
How would she get the hotel? I mean, maybe she could work there as a manager, but how would she be able to buy it back with no money?
That's a good
Because
point.
she sold it to, didn't she sell it to Lily?
Yeah,
Chancellor?
and here's the thing: since the whole gala, we haven't even seen the Grand Phoenix. They've been at the GCAC for the last 6 months.
So her and Abby were fighting over that for nothing. I don't understand how Phyllis is so like she acts like she talks smart, but she moves dumb. If that makes sense, I don't get
she
that.
Does.
She you were with all of these men, billionaire men, billionaire sons. You didn't have all these divorces. You're a smart girl to put some money to the side. Not to mention, you done sold and had different businesses. I'm sure you had investments. Like, you're a smart woman. Get contract work. You work in IT. Most people in IT can make about 100,000. Like, it
Correct.
just makes no sense. I don't know.
Yeah, and then it seemed like there was some because it was it's two cutoff scenes that had me intrigued this week, and we didn't find out later until this conversation that Phyllis had with Daniel because there was a cutoff scene when she was talking to Sharon, and she asked Sharon, "Do I have a job?" and there was no answer, and we never came back to it.
I was wondering if I missed that response because I didn't remember Sharon saying anything. And I'm like, maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
I said the same thing, but I'm like, no, they just never. There was no scene to cut back to them where Sharon says, "No, I'm sorry, it didn't work out." We didn't find out until today, until she had that conversation with Daniel, and when I heard her say that, well, it didn't work out, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, there's my answer, because I'm like, what was Sharon's answer?
There's been like some weird like editing, especially with the black and white, and they kind of stay still. Like maybe they're just trying to play with that editing, but they did the same thing on Bold and Beautiful, like with Hope and Thomas. It's like we missed a whole episode.
Right. That's the second one I was going to say because how did you have, and I know we're kind of jumping ahead, but I just got to say this while I'm thinking about it, you guys. How did you have Brooke bust in on Thomas and Hope? And then the next day, everybody's in new clothes. Brooke is over at Eric's, and Hope and Thomas is talking about something else. I'm like, what happened?
I
And
had so many questions.
What'd you say? What you say, Bree?
I had so many questions. I'm like, did Brooke leave? Did she go and run and tell Rich? Did Hope and Thomas get right back to it on the desk? Like what? Like what happened?
They just left us hanging because Brooke stood there, and they were looking crazy. She hadn't even had her dress on. She was still in her slip, her black slip. And and of course Brooke was saying, Thomas was like asking Thomas, I know you agree with this, or what do you got to say about this? And it just left us there. And the next day Brooke was over at Eric's house. I don't know, that was weird.
Cut.
I was like, dang, did I miss something?
I do like the little editing that they do when they have the on Y&R, when they have the characters like remembering something, their little flashback or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, they started that not last week too. You know, when Adam was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about stuff, and I'm like, okay, what are y'all doing? I guess it's cool. You know.
I gotta get used to it. It was
Yeah.
kind of annoying because, especially like with like Kyle and Nikki scenes, they always kept thinking back, and I'm like, and it's like this like 3 minutes had passed, like people are walking by you, and it just
Yeah.
looks weird. I don't know.
It felt like it was a little overkill because I feel like they did it with almost every character on screen at
Right.
some point this week, and you don't really get that many flashback or like memory scenes or whatever you want to call them. So it did seem a little excessive,
Yeah, it was
especially
a lot.
especially the ones with Kyle. He was having his little daydreams or whatever you want to call it, his memories with Audra, and it's like this, like Bree said, like this has been going for like 2 minutes now. Like, are we going to replay every scene of Kyle and Audra in his mind? Like, what's going on here?
And we don't feel sorry for Kyle.
You
Poor
know what? Let's
thing.
just move into that storyline because not only did he get fired, Audra dumped him.
Oh, did
Shut
she
up,
play
girl.
you, Kyle?
So silly.
Did she play you, Kyle, and leave you in the park? Oh, poor
Girl,
thing.
listen, Nikki, like, you ain't fooling me. I know y'all sneaking around. But here's my
Right.
thing with Nikki. She's being so judgmental about this affair. And then you want to talk trash saying about how Jack is a wild guy or something. I'm like, girl, you was with him at some point, cheating on your own husband. So, I mean, let's not go there.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. So Kyle seemed to really be falling for Audra, I guess.
Of course.
And it's just odd to me because it's not like, so him and Summer had their issues, but the issues were current. It wasn't something that had been going on for, a year or a few months. It was just this one thing that happened with Phyllis, and then, her trying to hide that from him, which he had every right to be angry about. But it's just, I've always found it odd the way that he jumped right from, like, literally a couple of days after finding out what Summer did, right from her to Audra, and then it didn't stop. And it's like, were you really in love with Summer? Like, it just didn't make any sense because of the history that him and Summer have. It To me, it was weird that he was able to just move on like that. And I'm sure, yes, Audra was a rebound, and it was probably somebody that kept his attention, kept his mind off Summer, but it just felt like he was like really, really into her, and it was just weird to me.
I mean, I just think there's a level of immaturity there. And that's why when they were together, that's why you saw Adam call him a little puppy dog because he was acting like that when it comes to Audra. Audra saw right through him. And I was sitting up there thinking like, dude, you better get your diamond earrings back.
Oh, I
still can't believe he did that.
Girl,
that was the same week, wasn't it?
Girl.
The same week that they slept together?
Girl, yes.
Like the next day?
Girl, yeah, he ran out and bought that girl some diamond earrings from the same jewelry company in Florence that they get all their family stuff from. And that's what I'm like, dang, you ain't pay cash for that? You got a paper trail? I mean, he was just so reckless about it.
Well, yeah, he didn't care.
He didn't care.
I saw the way that he admitted to Summer that he was sleeping with her.
Whatever Audra's doing was jewelry worthy, apparently. And Keisha, you're so kind. You called her a rebound. I mean,
oh my God, you're so silly.
Red Roof Inn made it more than easy for him.
Oh my God.
He was moving like Liam in those streets of Genoa City. I like just making nothing but impulses and no decent, logical decisions. And the thing is, I expect this from Kyle because look at who his dad is.
Well, that's what Jenna said. Not only did she call Kyle a simp, But Jenna says just like Jack.
Just like his daddy, committing crimes for women, buying jewelry for raggedy women that he meets at bars and losing his job. Like, just, he is the sad little puppy dog, and she was right to leave him and play him right there in that park. Good for her.
It's almost like he reverted back to the Kyle that he was before Lola.
You think so?
Because Kyle, because he was a little jerk back then too.
Yeah.
When he first came on the scene, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was
you're right. Jerk. You're right.
He's a hot jerk.
Well, the other interesting thing is that Audra told him, just go back to Summer. You know that she's the love of your life. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, I was like, yikes.
I'm like, ooh. So basically, she telling you, I'm done with you. You can go on back over there.
Do you really think she feels that way? Because I feel like when Nikki told her she needed to fire him, it almost felt like she was going to have a hard time with it.
See, this is what I was saying last week. Audra likes to use people to leverage. She just lost a person she could use to leverage. She was like, either I keep this Newman or I keep this Abbott. And she went ahead and kept a Newman. As long as she is in the good graces of Nikki and Victor, she knows she's good, because they could have got rid of her at any point in time.
And I'm surprised they haven't.
It's only a matter of time, especially if she goes out, because I honestly feel she's going to go after Victor. Just a matter of time.
You think so?
Yes.
What you said, she going all the way to the top.
And here's the thing, I love Audra. She reminds me so much of like Hillary when she first came onto the scene. She's giving that energy, because they're using her in almost any and every storyline now.
Yeah, she is getting around.
Especially with
more ways than one.
Yeah, and it's funny that she got rid of the younger guy and she was like, I'm going to keep Tucker. And she was trying to play coy with Tucker too at the jazz bar. Like, that was just a one-time thing. And like Tucker's like, you know what I got? You coming back, girl.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Like I said, I don't feel sorry for Kyle. You did a knee-jerk reaction. Yes, did Summer screw that whole thing up, lying about, her mom and stuff? Of course. But that don't mean that you go and jump on Audra. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And then Victor dug the wound in deep. He like, you know what? You don't belong over here. Go on back to your family's company. I was like, oh my God, Kyle is getting it from all angles.
Right.
Nothing but L's. It's nothing but L's.
I know.
That's why I don't feel like Audra really cares either which way, because she knows Kyle can just go back to his family's company. She knows he's rich. Like, she feels she can pull a guy like that. She can pull Noah and whoever. She can get another. She's not worried at all. She's just trying to get people to leverage.
Right.
Girl, listen, you know what? You don't see her trying to go after Nicholas?
Give her some time.
Oh, yeah. Give her some time. And if you want to...
She's got to have something she wants, too, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. She's going to do the exact opposite of Sally, and it's going to be beautiful. He's going to be like, you want a company? Yes, I want 3, and I want it to be worth over $100 million. And I want a new house, and I want this, and I want that. She will run circles through Nick, and I'd be happy to see that.
What you say? I'm here for that one.
I'm here for that. I'm here for Audra, because she reminds me so much of Michelle Morgan, and I got to give that the actress who plays her.
Who, you talking about Audra?
Yeah,
Zalika Silver.
Incredible job, and I think she actually might be around for a little while.
I hope she does.
I get worried with new characters, but the way they're using this girl, she's gonna be around for a minute. I think they're trying to fill that Michelle Morgan-ish spot.
Girl, listen, Melissa Spencer said Audra would go after a dog if it was a male and had money.
Yeah. And it sure would. A golden retriever would. Well, actually, there is a gold. Give her time to get after Nick. He is the golden retriever of Y&R. Just give her time.
Jenna said they're overusing Audra. Do y'all think they're overusing her?
I wouldn't say that.
Because she said
I'm glad that they're using her the amount that they are, because I mean, look what's happening with Brittany Sarpy's character.
Yeah.
Like, they're not doing anything with her at all. You, like you said before, she pops up every now and then.
Girls, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say the character of Audra, gets on my nerves sometimes, but I like her being there because she adds a different dimension to the show.
Yeah, Jenna said they did this with Sally, and then we got tired of her too. Because honestly, I am not feeling this whole thing. I'm just over it when it comes to Adam and Sally now.
Yeah, the moment has passed for me with those two.
Yep, they screwed that up. They should have left that alone last fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a cute scene, but I rolled my eyes, and even when they kissed, it was like, I see the chemistry. So much has happened, and the way she talked about him like a dog, even during the pregnancy, after the pregnancy, and the way Nick has treated him in a short period of time after he lost his child, it's just, I just don't care for all three of them, to be honest. And
same.
It's just, oh well.
And see, here's the crazy thing. She's going to tell Nicholas either next week or the first week in October. She's going to confess that kiss. And I'm like, Nick is about to blow a gasket.
Right. The minute that she let her hair down when Adam came to her door and, I guess was trying to fix her hair up or whatever right before she opened the door, Nick and Sally are done. She just needs to admit to herself that she doesn't want to be with Nick, and just move on with Adam, because Adam clearly still wants to be with her. So I don't know why she keeps lying to herself or denying her feelings or whatever it is that she's doing.
So
I'm tired of seeing it.
So here's the issue that I'm having with Adam and Thomas right now, is that I just don't like to see them begging so much.
Yes, thank you.
It's on my nerves, and they're good-looking men. They can get any of these women, really. It does not have to be, like, why Hope specifically? Like, why Sally specifically? Right. I mean, Sally got a little bit more spice, a little bit more edge, so I get Sally. But Thomas hasn't had a love interest in, like, almost 15 years, besides Sally. Mm-hmm. It's funny, they both have that woman in common.
Yep. It's just pathetic. I mean, this, like you just said, Keisha, all of the stuff and how bad she was talking about him, and the fact that you with his brother, and all that stuff, and he's just like, I what is that preview? I can't stop forgetting about that kiss. But I'm like, dude, remember, she kicked you to the curb because she thought that the sex wasn't good last December, which is how y'all got pregnant.
Right.
And now you figure that this kiss is reuniting, or you felt something from this, and then she gonna run tell your brother in the next week or so? Man, please, I'm over it.
And I'm so annoyed with Nick always coming down on Adam when it's Sally always showing up to go see Adam, making his dinners, unpacking his stuff, like trying to be his confidant. She always goes to Adam. Like, why are you not checking her? And why is she always inching over? And she's trying to play these two men because she knows how Adam feels for her, and she's trying to give him this false hope. She's playing yo-yo with both of these men, same way she did with a few other brothers on a different show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why she always played two in the middle. And the thing is that Nick never say anything. He always run and scream at Adam, but never scream. I know he shouldn't be screaming, but he never, hold her accountable. Just like when she showed up over at Adam's house, buying dinner, he automatically assumed that Adam had some kind of way of manipulating her to come over there or
Right.
something. It's like, dude, that's what simps do. He's a simp too. It's like,
It's
stop.
always Adam's fault.
It's always Adam's fault. So with this whole thing that they're trying to, when I saw the spoiler for next week that Adam asked for another go of it, I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, again,
Right.
really?
I'm not looking forward to that at
I'm
all.
not looking forward to it either. I would rather for them to move him away from Sally at this point.
Me too.
I've been wanting them to try him with Audra, but look, I don't know where Audra is going to end up at now. But I know Bree said maybe Victor.
Oh, she gonna go after Victor because you already see that tension between her and Nikki. And Nikki, this woman knows when a woman wants her man, especially by now, after all the ex-wives that Victor done had and all the women that she had to battle. She knows. I guarantee she's gonna go after Victor.
Oh my God! Oh no. Okay. I guess we'll see. Man, Melissa said Audra is every man's favorite chew toy.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Y'all be killing me in these comments.
I mean, where is the lie? I mean, there's nothing but truth in that statement. I had to stay silent on that.
Now, I will say Jay Money said that he would never get tired of Sally or Audra because those women are fine as F. So
they're beautiful women. Beautiful women. Here's my question. And it's kind of a hard one. Would you rather see Adam and Sally together, or would you rather see Brooke and Ridge get married?
Oh, jeez. Adam and Sally over Brooke and Ridge. Come on now. You know what? Listen, that's a fun one to do. Maybe we'll do that tonight. I'll come up with some crazy, the lesser of two evils question.
Oh, that would be,
yeah. That would be fun.
All right, let's get through it. Let me see what we can come up with. They sitting down there. Somebody throwing up laughing emojis. Okay, so we got that stupid kiss at the door with Adam, and then he talking about he was drunk, and she standing there looking crazy. Okay, whatever. Can we move on? We gotta talk about this other thing between Victor versus Victoria.
This was the best part of this whole week.
I know, right?
I watched it twice. It was so good. Just, oh goodness. Just, she walked in, just acting with all this privilege. Just like I didn't expect for you to really be by your desk. It's like, well,
But wait, Bree, you got to back up because originally, the beginning of this week, she tried to question his sanity.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, she tried it. So he was saying to fire Adam, but he has no recollection or how to function as an adult when he demoted you. Okay.
Girl, she's just a whiny brat right now. She thought that she was going to just stay in that. To me, you co-CEO. He didn't knock you down to COO, CIO, CFO, CTO, or anybody else in that C-suite. You are co-CEO, just like Steffi and Ridge is. What's the problem? Just because Victor took over?
He took her picture down. Yeah. He took her picture down the wall.
She doesn't want to share that role with anybody else. It needs to be hers and only hers.
Girl. I gotta say, I didn't see any lies in his conversation. That whole office is in chaos. The brothers don't want to work there. One of them is out. The other one is left off with Sharon into the sunset somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And so he like, I wanted to bring this family together, but all you've done is actually separated. And then did you guys hear Victoria actually decide not to throw Adam under the bus?
Yeah, I noticed that.
It ain't even Adam's fault this time. It's yours. I'm like, wait a minute. Girl, listen. I said, let me rewind that. Did she just say that?
She will do anything to voice her point. She is such a spoiled brat. And the thing is, it's not like a whole lot has affected her salary bracket.
Nope.
Not even the slightest. All he did was come into his office, as he has done for decades. He took down your picture and put up his picture because it was sitting there for decades. And he sat at his desk for decades. Like, what is your problem, honey? It's not, you know what it is? She wants to feel superior over her sister, over her siblings. And him knocking her down means that he thinks of all of them on the same level, and that bothers her.
Girl, Victor went off. He was like, I don't care. Anything you got to say is irrelevant. I was like,
he was reading her right, and he was like, all this dysfunction underneath your nose, and you couldn't notice what was going on. And he was laying out facts, and she couldn't handle it, and she should just be happy. Just take the co-CEO position. Boom.
He even told his wife off. When she came up in there, she was shocked. Because she was like, oh, well, we're going on a trip and we're going to be gone for 2 weeks and we can sit on this. And Victor was like, nope, we ain't going nowhere.
Shut that down real quick.
Right? She was like, but you said, I don't care what I said. I ain't going nowhere. I was like, oh my God, did that just happen?
It was a beautiful scene. Like, I watched it twice. I see where he's coming from. He just wants to put somewhat of his family together, but much to what Victoria was saying, like, most of the issues that he has with his family were caused by him. Majority. Always pinning his kids against each other. And I mean, is this really anything different? I mean, this is nothing new for her. And she, like, you're rich. You got $500 million from your daddy. Go start a business.
Yeah.
That's what we've been telling Adam to do for how many years now?
I know, right? Did Adam get some money?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
It was Abby, Nick, and Victoria. Adam put it all together, but they all got $500 million each, and he got nothing.
Girl, I'll be so through with that family. How am I gonna help you put it together and I don't get a dime?
How did Abby get a piece? And the thing is, she wasn't even a part of it. She just they were asked. They were like, "Hey, come be a part of this. We'll be a united front," and she profited. And he got nothing.
Yep.
That is crazy, crazy, crazy. But the other problem is Victoria thought that she was going to make Nate her co-CEO. And I'm like, did you actually think that was going to fly? This is the same man that turned on his own family. And Victor has always said nobody but a Newman is going to be in that seat. And you think you was going to slide your little boyfriend into your co-CEO position? I don't think so.
Right.
And now Adam got an answer to him next week. That's going to be hilarious.
Why is Adam going back to work for him again?
Girl, again. Between him,
there's been so much for the last 2 months of round robin, in and out of Newman Media, acquiring new companies and selling them off, and my head is spinning from all the movement, and I don't understand. I can't keep up with who's doing what, who's working where, who has what position. It's just too much.
Well, we know Audra's position. We know what she's doing.
Girl, you so silly.
That's the only employee I know who, at least she's working, and she's working within Newman in several positions.
You was talking about for real working? I was just talking about in the bedroom.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's always at the hotel, at a bar. I mean, I guess she can maybe that's her part-time job. Sorry.
Oh, Jasmine said Victoria has horrible business acumen. She thinks with a kitty cat. Oh.
Well, that's how Nate Nate got his positions. If she, yeah, Jasmine is correct. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine.
The same thing with Ashlyn Locke too.
Oh, there's no lie there. There's no lie there at all.
I mean,
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the work drama. I need them to get it together at Newman, and they can have. I want them to have one of those little old fashioned um, conglomerate business battles that they used to have back in the 90s with Jabot and Chancellor and whoever else. But I'm tired of like the internal fighting in that company. It's just make a decision on who's going to work where, and let's stick with it for at least 6 months before you move somebody again.
girl, who you telling? I'm surprised they had that the business world hasn't lost faith in Newman. They didn't have so many switcheroos in the past 3 years. It's just been ridiculous.
Right.
It's like, dang, what y'all doing over there?
And their family.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You are exactly right. Who do you think bought Victor's share in Chancellor-Winters?
I've been really debating this, and honestly, I think it's Ashley because she has been the only character off the show who has left mysteriously. We don't know how she and Tucker broke off. She said that she's going to go back to Jabot because she could easily change her mind. I think she bought that. And maybe she's trying to start her own company outside of Jabot, outside of Tucker. Or because I don't think it's Devon. I was hoping it was Adam, but I think it's Ashley.
Some people in the comment section saying it's Mamie.
That's who I was wondering if it was going to be, because she just popped up out of nowhere next week.
Yeah, because Victor was very, very hush hush about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't she related to Neil or Drew or somebody? Refresh my memory, because I go way
was
back.
related to Drew, I thought.
Okay.
Drew and what was her sister's name? Can't remember her sister's name.
I'm looking her up.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
I guess she is related to Drusilla. Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Jenna says that she's the aunt of Drew and Nate's mother.
Yeah, Drew's sister. I can't remember her name.
Oh, that would be interesting, and she could have Nate run the company. Huh?
How? That stake is not more than 51%. It's like a small slither. That's why I don't understand why they wrote that like that, unless she's just coming in just to get a piece, just to say that she has something as part of that family. But it's like,
my guess is that if it is her, that she's going to sell it back to them.
Okay.
No, I would take it a step further. If she is related,
Olivia. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and she might give it to Olivia's son, Nate. She might sell that to Nate, and then he'll have a piece of his family's company, and then he'll be able to have a say.
Oh my God! I mean, okay, I guess.
I don't know. We're just we're hoping for anything else for Nate, or we hoping for him to go back to medicine, because this isn't it. We miss him being the fine, gorgeous doctor in the scrubs, like just pulling Elena on the doctor's bed, whatever you call that, and hooking up and having an affair on Devon. I miss that Nate.
Yeah, I like Dr. Nate versus businessman Nate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look what it's done for his character. It's gotten him more attention than what he's had before.
That is true, because that if that was the case and he was Dr. Nate, people would always have to be sick on that show to see him. You know what I mean? I guess if he just happened to pop in, because look at Elena, she's a doctor, but unless somebody's sick, you really don't see her.
Right.
So.
Who do you guys think?
What?
Who do you think bought the steak? Do you guys think it's Mamie?
My guess was Mamie.
I mean, a lot of people been saying Mamie, so
I feel like it's got to be somebody that would be unexpected because they have Victor being secretive about it, and I don't see Tucker would be too obvious. I don't see the reason for Ashley to do it.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay, it's Billy. I think it's Billy. I think that's why Tucker wants to look into Billy's account to see if he bought that state.
Oh.
Really?
I think so. Because Billy's been going rogue, and he was also trying to get information on Tucker. It would make sense to play into that Billy Tucker storyline for Tucker to look into Billy's account to see if he bought that state.
No, he's going into that account to set him up for embezzlement. So they're gonna be moving some money around and look like he's been stealing money from Jabot. So I mean,
that sucks.
that's the storyline for next week. Is that and Phyllis got to do it, and so she's gonna be moving money around, put all this money in there, looking like it's coming out of Jabot's financial wallet, and making it look like Billy's been stealing money from the company again. So that's what that's about.
I like my storyline better. I might be. Can
No.
I write for the show, please?
Yeah. Now Jay Money said that he don't think it's Mamie. I think whoever bought the shares from Victor is somebody that's an everyday player on the show. I don't think it's Adam. I mean,
I don't either.
He was
Mariah?
just no girl, Mariah. I think honestly it could be Mamie. It was the way Victor was acting. You'll find out in due time, and Mamie's close to the family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And her having a stake in that company I mean, she's always been around the Abbott Winter Chancellor circle, so. Yep. That would make sense. It would be her, but okay, we'll see how it play out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to see what's going to happen with Victoria next now, because even though Adam is reporting to Nate, which sucks. I kind of wish they could have wrote this storyline that Victoria was so pissed that her and Adam team up.
I was hoping for that too.
That would have been great.
Did it seem like Adam and Billy could team up a little bit?
Billy just want info. Billy don't care about Adam.
Yeah, good point. But Victoria and Adam, if they both could put their heads together, they both could easily run Newman, and Victor would shut up and be happy.
Yeah, I mean, they both ruthless. Victoria is the female protege of Victor, and Adam is the male protege of Victor. Those two put together, it would be crazy up in that CEO office. And if they actually ran it like a business and take the feelings out of it, that would be a huge storyline.
Which won't happen. Because their relationship has been so contentious over the years. Mm-hmm. Like, there hasn't been a moment where they've really gotten along with each other. Maybe for a split second when he helped her out with the Ashland situation. That was the only example I can think of where him and Victoria weren't bumping heads, or when he was actually doing something nice for her. But other than that, like, they had a better chance with Nick and Adam working together. I don't ever see a situation where Victoria and Adam can work unless they build up to them mending their relationship. I just don't see how that would work.
Girl, I think it would have been a beautiful thing, because if they did some work together on a takeover together or something like that, and imagine them putting their heads together to come up with schemes together, those two would be awesome.
Yeah, they absolutely would. But the show would have to work towards them actually being civil to each other first before that would even be a realistic storyline.
So they would probably have to do Adam save your life type of thing. And I know it didn't work for Nick, because Nick is still talking crazy.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like Adam has made more of an effort to try to like get along with his siblings more than it's reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel Adam would make the effort to try to make it work, but Victoria will always be like, nope, nope, nope. And wasn't he the one who was trying to protect her from Ashlyn Locke?
Mm-hmm.
The main one, and she was still ungrateful. He will always be the one to make the effort. It will never be reciprocated, which is why he needs to go ahead and just leave his family alone.
Yeah, he needs to walk away, like, or else do like Abby did. Abby started her own business. She only see the family when it's necessary. I mean, seriously.
I be forgetting Abby is even a Newman sometimes.
She's a Newman and an Abbott, and she's like, I see both my families when it's necessary. Otherwise, I'll holler at y'all later. And that's what Adam needs to do. Get your own stuff. Stop trying to continue to go through this whole rat race in this whole thing. What's that little thing that the rat be running around and never go anywhere? It's a circle.
Oh, the little wheel.
The hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel. Yeah. That's Adam. He keeps running in circles in this hamster wheel, never getting this approval. He's starting at the bottom to prove what? You can't prove anything to anybody if they don't want to believe you.
He better off working at the coffee house. I would not be working underneath Nate because he'd be working underneath Victoria too.
Correct.
So why would you put yourself in that position? You have money. Just go start a business. I don't understand that. And speaking of Abby, wasn't she supposed to be building a hotel? That's why she was going back and forth with Phyllis. And
girl, they ditched that storyline.
Yeah. So she just has the restaurant and she just has all of her money. And there was like something funny I wanted to point out. If anyone noticed in the credits, Abby's last name, she's Abby Newman, Abbott. She has 4 last names.
Abby Newman.
Does she have what's his name? Last name
Chancellor. She's Abby Newman, Abbott, Chancellor, and I forget the last one.
Is it Brad's last name?
I don't think so. She had 4 last names, though. When I saw that in the credits, I'm like, who is this? I'm like, that's Abby, and she kept all those last names.
Girl, that's crazy.
If anyone watches the episode, like towards the end, and just look at Abby Newman, Abby's last name, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. But that was his last thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. The other thing Jenna just brought up, what did Jack call Adam on the phone at the bar today? I wonder what that's about.
He might offer him a job. I mean, he treats Adam more like his son than Victor does.
Did you just say offer him a job? They just fired him from over there. He walked away.
He's had more jobs over at Jabot. They love bringing him back. They can bring him back again.
Girl, but remember, Diane is trying to get Kyle over there.
Mm-hmm. That would be a fun storyline, especially
she's trying to talk. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Adam and Kyle again.
Nope.
Carlton. That's Brian's last name.
Oh, Carlton. Is that it, Bree?
I don't think so. I'm looking it up now. I'm just trying to send a screenshot to your Instagram.
Oh, okay, cool.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember. What were you guys talking about? I'm sorry. I have to blurt stuff out when it pops in my head, or else it goes away, and I never remember it again. Sorry that I cut you guys off.
Oh no, you're fine. We were talking. We were talking about Adam again.
Okay. Somebody ID said, "Hi, I'm new here. My name is JD. ID is family. Your recap is really good. They wanted me to hear it. I'm a big Bold fan, but The Young and the Restless is good too. Welcome. I'm glad you enjoy the recaps.
That's what I was. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Keisha.
We were talking about Adam quitting. Kyle's mom. Diane.
Mm-hmm.
Talking Jack into trying to talk him into getting rid of Billy and replacing him with Kyle.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think because Jenna said in the comment section that because Adam has information on Tucker, Billy sent Jack to contact him. I'm just like, look, Adam. Adam is saying he taking over a new leaf. I'm not finna get involved in no mess right now.
The best way for him to do that is to not work at Newman.
Exactly. I'm just like, dude, just, walk away. Just get yourself another job somewhere. Start your own business. Why are you kissing their butts? That makes it worse. It's one thing that he's falling after Sally begging, and then now you on your, trying to say, oh, I'll start from the bottom up, and now you're going to be working behind Nate. It's like, Adam, come on. They really are doing an injustice to their character. You don't have to have Adam out there scheming all the time, but let him use his Harvard business degree.
And his years in business and investments and working at Newman. And just, I'm just so sick of it being all Adam's fault. It's been like this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so tiring, and I'm just done with it. Just what's the point of making all these people rich if they don't start their own businesses? Why did they have to work underneath somebody?
And desperate to do it. They be desperate to work there.
Exactly. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, come on, y'all. Y'all can do better with the writing. Now, I know there's been a writer's strike for the last several months, so maybe they're just trying to do what they do. But I don't think, did the strike affect the soaps, though?
I read that it didn't.
That's what I read, too.
I read that it affected more, like, programming, like on primetime networks and Netflix and that sort of thing.
Okay.
I heard the soap writers, I guess, are under a different type of contract or something.
Okay. Okay.
I could ghostwrite though.
Girl, you so funny. I just would prefer, like we were saying, Adam to go and be over there and start his own stuff. Kyle, go back to Jabot, work with your mommy and your daddy so you can stay out of trouble. And Billy, I don't know. Billy went rogue this week. Jack specifically told him, do not go over there and talk to Devon. Don't get in this whole thing between him and his father. And I actually agree with Jack on that.
I do too. I thought that was dirty of Billy to try to convince him to think, ruin that relationship with Tucker.
And I mean, Abby and him kind of got into a little tiff because Abby wants to believe her mom. Devon wants to believe his dad. He had a conversation with Lily too. Lily was like, I don't trust your daddy. And he was like, well, maybe it's not him. So he's catching it. And then to throw Billy in there to try to, I'm going to come between Tucker and Devon. No, you stay out of that.
And I know I wasn't on last week. This whole situation where Tucker and Ashley all of a sudden have now broken up after being married for a week, and during their honeymoon at that, it was like, what was the point of all of this if you guys are just going to immediately break them up? On top of that, I feel like during the whole lead up to them getting married, I felt like Tucker kept trying to get Ashley to back off the whole drama with Diane, and to just, like, he didn't want to be involved in any of that. And now all of a sudden they have Tucker wanting, I guess, to get revenge on Jack and Ashley and Jabot, and try to take their company or take their company down now? So now you want to be in a drama because things didn't work out with Ashley?
You know what I think? I think Eileen Davidson ended up leaving, as like she usually do. She does these little stints where she come and go. That was the way to ride her out of town. We know that the guy to play Tucker ain't going nowhere, so they had to send him back, make it look like they had a big fight. And what's the next storyline? Because if they send him back just to be sulking because, you know, Ashley broke up, well, she technically didn't break up. She broke up the business deal. She still wanted to be married to this guy. But the thing is that obviously Eileen is out for a while, which means that he has to come back. So what do you give him to do but Tucker and his old ways have him go after a company? So I think that's why that happened. I could be wrong.
I just don't like that. I don't like that they're writing it like that.
Yeah, I get you.
For him to decide that he doesn't want to be married or doesn't want to be with her anymore or has caused this big issue because now she doesn't want to go into business with him, when before it didn't seem like that huge of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's breaking up the marriage. It's just, I just feel like they could have come up with something better.
Yeah, they could have. What are you about to say, Bree?
I was really rooting for their happy ending because we were seeing for months she was playing him, and the thing is, it seemed like he was really genuine. It seemed like even though he was sleeping with Audra then too, it's just the way their chemistry, just the way he was loving on her. Like I was rooting for her to like give in, and then when they got married, I was like, okay, it finally came together. She came to her senses, and then this came out of nowhere. I don't know. And I sent you the IG as well.
Oh, okay.
And she has 3 last names.
How many?
She's Abby Newman Abbott Chancellor.
Yeah, I see it now.
So she didn't drop her name after they got divorced, huh?
Yeah, she didn't drop the Chancellor name. I can see why she would keep Newman Abbott.
Yeah.
But Chancellor, unless they just didn't. Well. Here's the thing: the credits and stuff has been done a long time ago until they changed the intro or the outro. So maybe they just haven't updated it yet because when did the divorce happen? Earlier this year.
Yeah, but they updated it when they did the 50th anniversary.
Were they still together during the anniversary, or did they break up before then?
I think they were divorced by then because she was with Devon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so. Oh well.
Interesting though.
She gonna keep all of her last names. They all rich. I would do the same thing. I'm Bree Newman Abbott Chancellor Hastings.
Oh my God.
Maybe she did that because that's probably Dominic's last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends who kept their married last name because they wanted to keep the same last name as their kids.
Yep, I did that. So
I figured it would be Hamilton. By now, I figured, oh well. She's not my favorite character because I just don't. I never was ever interested in Abby that much as a character because she was just as hypocritical as like Mariah was. Except Abby was sleeping around with all of Summer's men and Victoria's men too.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed when, not that I don't appreciate this version of Abby. Well, I don't really care. But I enjoyed Marcy Ryland's version of Abby, which was a younger Abby. But she was my favorite. She was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And she was with Daniel. They had a cute relationship. I loved them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, okay. Did we cover all of the storylines this week?
I think so. I remember Lily went into the office with Victor, and I laughed because I'm like, "Girl, what you going there for? You know that man's not going to tell you nothing. You're Lily. You're just Lily. You're not making moves like that in the business industry, girl. Stop."
Yeah, I didn't know what she actually think that Victor was going to tell her. Come on, Victor is only going to do what Victor wants to do.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And she knew that.
She knew that. I guess she said it was worth a shot, but yeah, you got your shot blocked. All right, so I think we did cover everything on the Young and the Restless. Let's go ahead on before we switch over to Bold. Housekeeping. So if you haven't, it's like 92 of you in this chat. Make sure you hit that like button so you can let the algorithm know to share this live to other folks. We have a blog, CBS Soap Dish Spoilers. All of the Young and the Restless day ahead information is there. So the Monday recap is already up there, and the spoilers for the week of the 25th through the 29th is already there. And then we have the recaps here on this channel daily. And then we also have Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and X on where stuff is being posted as well. So make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of fun stuff over here, including this live. And yeah, I think that's all I got. So let's go ahead and move over to Bold. And yeah, let me do the summary for that one. And we'll break it all down. All right. Okay, so for the week of the 18th, Brooke catches Thomas and Hope in the throes of passion, and RJ defensive with Ridge about Eric's needs. Douglas urges Hope to reunite with Thomas as a family, and Brooke argues with her son and sisters about Eric's line. Hope shows up as Deacon tries to end things with Sheila, and distraught Lee orders Finn to cut the cord with Sheila. And Douglas parent traps Thomas and Hope as Sheila accepts Deacon breaking up with her. And Sheila discovers that Deacon is responsible for her freedom. Lee wonders what else Jack hid from her. Okay, so let's start with Finn and Lee. Get them out the way. So what you got on them?
This I love this actually. I wasn't mad at it. I really felt for Lee. And I love the fact that Finn was like, look, I should have respected you. I should have never called Sheila my mom. You've been my mom. You should never doubt that in your mind. And also the way she broke down how that affected her and how her husband betrayed her, made her adopt a baby from a product of his affair. And she was really trying to process that. So this is a great scene between these two. I felt for Lee though.
Yeah, I did too. I actually kind of teared up a little bit when she was saying how that made her feel, knowing that he called Sheila mom. And she's like, I'm your only mom. I'm your mom, not her. And she was right to feel disrespected. That woman been in his life for 2 seconds as an adult.
My thing is, I mean, that was a cute scene and all, but she expect Finn to permanently get rid of her. Nobody from both the Young and the Restless or the Bold and Beautiful have been able to get rid of Sheila Carter. So what is Finn gonna do? Go ahead.
No, you finish.
No, I was just gonna finish saying it's like you can do something. It was almost like she was talking about putting her 6 feet under. I'm like, look, that dude is a doctor. And because she kept saying, well, you had the opportunity to, take her down when she was in the hospital. And dude was like, look, I took an oath. Do no harm. And she was like, I don't care. That's personal, though. I'm like, Lee.
Look, Lee is ruthless when it comes to Sheila.
I know, Lee ain't. Yeah, but I like Finn, don't throw Finn, in trouble because you got issues with this woman, which everybody does. But it's like, what do you expect Finn to actually do?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I don't know. I'm with you guys.
I guess when I think about her telling him you need to get rid of her for good, I don't truly believe that she's meaning for Finn to, unalive her on purpose. I look at it from the standpoint of the reason that she now has hope that the two of you can be, mother and son is because you gave her that hope. Like, you gave her that hope by calling her mom, by hugging her, because we all know Sheila, you know, she gets that little inch and she's going to take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the perspective I was looking at it from. And because he did that, she's saying now you're responsible for cutting that cord and getting it through to her head that that was a mistake. You didn't mean any of that. You don't want a relationship with her, and she needs to go away and go away from him and his family and be done with them. And her popping up at the house or, you know, wherever Finn is not, like, that's not going to work. That's how I'm choosing to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if that's really what she meant, but I can't imagine that Finn would think that, or that Lee would think that Finn would actually, on purpose, do something to permanently remove Sheila from the earth.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it's some weird things coming down the pipeline. And I know they're trying to spread the storylines, especially since Jackie is out on maternity leave right now. Taylor will be back next week. Thank goodness.
Yes, thank
Oh
goodness.
my
That's
gosh.
long overdue.
This long overdue. The last time we actually had a scene with Taylor is when she was arguing with Ridge over at Eric's for Steffi to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been, I think, maybe the end of July, early August, something like that. So it's like it's nice to have her come back. And then with Sheila, because there's some weird storylines coming out next week, and there's things like an engagement and her finding out that, you know, Deacon, because we saw that today, she is just over the moon enamored when she found out that Deacon was the one that got her out of prison. Okay, so what are you going to do with that information? Because he told you to get lost.
I think that was a trade-off. Like, look, I can't be with you, but here, you get your life. You can start over, do what you need to do, keep my name out your mouth, and go about your business. I think for him there was a fair trade-off versus just leaving her in jail. I mean, he has feelings for her. He knows he can't be with her. He wanted to at least give her that, but I was shocked. So I'm confused. So Deacon was a part of all this whole the FBI investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he knows the judge to help get the girl out of prison. Like, so he had the same power to put her in jail too, versus Bill and Ridge. I'm confused. How is this? I'm lost.
It's like I said, some weird storylines because this judge that he was laughing and kikiing with at the Il Giardino today, it's a storyline about him having history with Sheila too. So I don't know. It's just like, what are y'all trying to write in stuff to make sure Sheila still have a spot somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Plus, there's other storylines or rumors that she might be eavesdropping, and maybe that's how she's going to come between Finn and Steffi, finding out about them kisses that Liam did. Because Liam will be back next week, too.
Oh, we're looking forward to that.
I know, right? I actually enjoyed the break, honestly. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I enjoyed that little break from Liam.
I didn't mind it either. I don't know. I feel like even if she doesn't find out about the kisses, if she even hears Liam mention anything about still loving Steffi, she's absolutely going to try to capitalize off of that.
Yeah, it's gonna get back to him somehow because we're gonna also see how Finn is gonna jump into Liam's butt about interfering with his marriage next week. So,
little pew.
I mean, it's like, dude, how many times I gotta tell you stay away from my wife? I'm gonna peel your head to the white meat. So
I have come to love Finn and Liam scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I love when Finn cuts up on him because he has stated nothing but facts, and Liam can't say nothing except, well, my daughter almost drowned because of you. That's all he can say. And I saw you hug Sheila. Meanwhile, Finn is just reading receipt after receipt after receipt. And he hasn't been even a part of any of those storylines, but knew about all that history.
Yep, and he's been doing it since he's been on the show, because he's done that early on. After that, little cheating incident, I remember him going off on Liam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has plenty of axe to grind against Liam because he almost had a baby with his wife. Sure, yeah. I look forward to those scenes. So let's see little puke next week.
Little puke waffle boy Liam.
I was so happy not seeing a Land of Old Lakes commercial this whole week, but I guess we're reconvening when he gets back.
Yes, we will get him back next week. And oh yeah, it's a lot going on with Taylor coming back, cuz and I mean, I don't want let's just start right here. Oh my gosh. Especially with go ahead.
There was I saw a comment on Instagram that called Bill, Ridge, and Deacon, called them the Grandpa Brigade. It said something about how they're all responsible for Sheila being out of prison.
Oh my God! Yeah,
the Grandpa Brigade.
Yep, I agree with you on that one. Okay, let's close up this whole thing with Finn and Lee. So yes, they had a cute scene. He made her feel validated about the fact that he was always looked to her as being mom instead of saying what he said to Sheila. That was cool. Lee wants Finn to push, family first, get rid of Sheila, but yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how he's going to do that. I don't know. We also still have the Ridge and Eric and that whole storyline. Listen, Brooke actually was that this week or last week? We might have talked about it last week. Was it this week or last week? I don't know. Where she tried to tell her sisters.
That was this week.
That was this week. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so Brooke coming over there trying to tell her sisters that Eric needs to go sit down somewhere, and
and the nerve of her telling her somebody to take a seat. She took several seats.
Yeah, she told Eric he needs to go take a seat. And Donna and Katie said, Brooke, you need to go take a seat.
Which surprised me.
Yeah, I was shocked about that because we never, well, I ain't going to say never because we have seen arguments between Katie and Brooke over Bill in the past, but not in business.
And I don't ever remember Brooke and Donna having issues.
No. Nope.
Yeah. Donna's always been a simp for her sister. I remember there was like a storyline where Brooke was like, I'm taking Eric from you, and Donna was like, I guess. And Brooke married him that same day. I remember. This is true. And Donna will always simp for her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donna stood up for her man. She was like, you gonna sit up here and tell him he needs to go sit down somewhere? You go sit down somewhere and tell Ridge to sit down with you. So, yeah, that was pretty funny to me. And then Carter's sliding up in there talking about this is risky. You need to stop what you're doing. Eric is like, who name is on the company?
I get where Carter was coming from though, because he's looking at it from an operations financial standpoint. They're using all these resources to do two separate lines when they could just work together, and it's almost wasteful for the company.
True, but and I love Carter. I'm in love with Carter. I will say this every week. He needed to shut up. He should be happy he's in a COO position after sleeping with Eric's wife.
I heard that. Ooh-wee. I heard that.
He better be grateful. Like, Eric, you want me to cut down Ridge's budget? How would you like for me to? You want me to go and sew a few clothes? Something else other than telling this man not to run his own business. He could easily fire you. in the
Yeah.
same breath.
Yep. He sure could have.
But did y'all think he was being disrespectful about it? Because I didn't. I thought he was just advising him as the COO.
If Eric had asked for that, then that would be okay. But it was unwarranted. Carter has to remember that he works there, but at the same time, Eric's going to do what he wants with his own company. He shouldn't have to ask to create an own line. He knows the financial risk more than anyone because he founded it. It's just out. Carter was just out of place. He should just once again just be happy he's in a position after sleeping with that man's wife.
Yeah, the other thing is with that is that man Eric got enough money for the next 5 generations. He'll be all right.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
I mean, they got Forrester
I just
International.
can't get into this storyline in general.
You don't like the storyline?
No, because it just came out of nowhere and it just doesn't make any sense. And the whole RJ aspect of it really...
It's not realistic. This man, we never knew he could draw a lick. And then all of a sudden, he's this fantastic designer because it's in the blood. Yeah, okay.
I'm so sick of them saying he's the anointed one. He is the chosen one. Disrespecting all of Ridge's other kids. Like that's so...
Now, Bree, they're building up to eventually a competition between Thomas and RJ.
Yeah.
That's where this is eventually going to go. Once this whole storyline of Eric is behind us, now RJ is officially a designer. Oh yeah, it's going to be I could see that them going to a direction where they're going to pit them two brothers against each other.
Yeah, they absolutely will. But for them to already be talking about that, he could be the best designer Forrester Creations have ever seen, and it's like, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
He's drawn some stuff that Eric has told him to draw. Like, how much of that were actually his ideas, his thoughts that he put together on paper?
Exactly.
And not to mention, Thomas has had fashion lines. Yes. He's had years of experience.
Went to school for it.
And worked underneath both Eric and Ridge. If anyone's supposed to be taking over design, it would be Thomas.
Right.
The other thing is, and Hope gonna be like, well, why can't you have RJ work for Hope for the future? Because she don't want Thomas over there. So if RJ becomes this so-called anointed one designer, I could see Brooke saying, you know what, we need to put RJ over on the Hope for the Future line.
Yeah, it won't be her decision though.
But Ridge is a simp, so.
Well, they still have to get Steffi to approve it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Hope. I mean, I guess they don't have to get Hope's approval because she's just the figurehead for it. But I'm pretty sure Hope will fight against that as well because it's already been proven with Eric and Zende that they just didn't see Hope's vision and they didn't execute that line the way it needed to be, and it wasn't successful.
No, we talking about Belle, right? And Belle will tend to write for the Logans, so they'll figure it out.
Right. Yeah, right.
They gonna make RJ the golden boy.
Ugh.
Because Thomas is not. There's a lot of people that just don't like Thomas, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because of the bad history they wrote for him.
Yep.
And there's other characters, especially Brooke, who's had a far worse history. I mean, did we forget how Hope got here? I mean, she has, as all people, she has no reason to judge. And of course, she's going to be RJ's biggest cheerleader. That's not going to stop. That's not going to stop her daughter for sleeping around with Thomas, though.
Oh, we're going to get to that. I'm just, as much as I love to start off, it's just, I can't stand the position that Thomas is in right now. I mean, I ain't feeling it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so we kind of touched on Deacon and Sheila, right? And the breakup and okay, so we're done with that. We got okay. We might as well talk because we talked about this a little bit earlier about the quick walk in the door on Thomas and Hope and how it was like, what happened? Did we miss an episode? Because she just there was nothing there. They hyped that up in the spoilers, right?
Yeah.
That she was going to bust Thomas and Hope, and we was looking for what's next, and it was just that one little 5-minute scene on Monday's episode, and the next thing it was over.
Yep.
And she was like, "Oh my god!"
And still bringing up Liam.
Exactly.
You're still bringing up Liam. This man has rejected your daughter twice already.
Yep.
Exactly. And you still trying to force her to try to. What about Liam? Like, seriously? It's been how many weeks now?
Girl, then the thing is, he's sniffing around Steffi. I mean,
and she knows. And she knows this. And I just don't understand, like, why she needs to feel she needs to say something. She's seen far worse. She walked in the bedroom with her and Thomas. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, she should know what her daughter is doing. I mean, Brooke has been doing this for many decades. She's getting hers. So just let Hope get hers for a moment. I mean, we need to see these scenes.
It's because it's Thomas. That's all it is. If it was anybody else, I don't think she would be as pissed as she is. But she hates Thomas, so of course she's gonna try to lecture her. I thought I was cracking up though when she was like, when Hope said, "This isn't anything you and Ridge haven't done," and when she was like, "It's not about me and Ridge," and Hope and Thomas looked at each other and just had these little smirks on their faces.
Yeah, that was funny. I got to get on Thomas for this one. Why he going to unlock that door and they won't even finish being dressed yet?
Right.
Girl, I even did it in my recap where I actually had the video and I slowed it down because everybody was wondering for the past week, how is Brooke going to get in there if they lock the door? That's because Thomas unlocked the door before they were finished getting dressed.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
I guess it really wouldn't have even mattered though, because it wasn't even them putting their clothes on that she walked in on. She walked in on them about to go at it again.
But the thing is, Hope hadn't put her full dress on yet. She still had a black little whatever that thing is. She sat on between Thomas' leg in that previous week episode.
Child.
Yeah, she. Go ahead, Keish.
I was that little scene from last week, from Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I wonder if I just the chemistry that the two of them have is just insane to me. Like,
right.
I would be so insecure if I was his fiance.
If you, oh girl, well, yeah, we had that conversation last week. We was like, I know Brittany ain't watching none of this, because I mean,
I wouldn't be able to.
There is no, especially what we saw when Hope went over to Thomas's house a month and a half ago and took off that ring and he was biting and carrying on and they were all up in the girl, ain't no way. I'd be like,
yeah. It looks so good too.
Like you said, y'all, they are way too believable.
Exactly.
And I'm like, this can't be this. Like, how can you guys, like, do all this and then cut and then act like nothing happened? Like, I would assume, at least for Matt Atkinson, some blood flow.
Oh, of course.
There's no way it's not.
Bree, we had this conversation yesterday. I mean, last week. I don't care how many people or many cameras and lights and stuff in that room. Your skin got nerves. Right. You gonna feel some touching, some lips, some body parts, some heat, some something.
I would just love it if they had, you know how some shows will have like a little behind the scenes thing going on that's recording, you know, the people that are behind the camera and that kind of stuff. I would love it if they had something like that so we could see like the reactions of the crew when they're shooting these scenes, because they are too good. They are way too good at this with each other. And I would just love to see like the other actors, the cameraman, the director, like Bree said, after you yell cut and everything stops. Like, what What are the reactions there?
Oh, did you see
Like, are they
J
high
Money?
fiving each other?
Oh my God! Did you see J Money? Did you see what he just wrote?
I hate him so much.
I'm not gonna say on the podcast what he said, but if y'all reading them comment sections, that boy is crazy. I knew he was gonna say something. Jay never disappoints.
I mean, he ain't wrong. I was thinking the same thing too, because like when you go to cut, like you have to correct yourself. Like,
listen, I mean,
these are the things I want to know.
Listen, that scene, listen, girl, because you didn't get a chance to talk about this, Keisha, last week. That scene when he was kissing her neck and he pulled that strap off her shoulder, and then took his hand, ain't no way I couldn't have made it. I would have been like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
And you know how normally, so like when they're doing a bedroom scene and they're in the bed, I'm guessing they might have something between them.
Yeah, they're wrapped in a blanket all the way around when they're together in the bed.
Yeah, but in this scene, like she literally sat on his lap. There was nothing there. There was nothing. At least I didn't see anything.
Right. I mean, his legs were parted open and he sat down. Now you know her butt is in the front.
Exactly.
You can't, and then like I said, the rest happened, and the neck and body heat. I don't know how they do it. Hey, that's why you go to acting school or something. But
maybe it's just something we don't know because we're not actors.
Look, the only person who knows right now is Brittany, and Brittany is a very, very, very lucky woman. Because if this is acting, I can only imagine.
Girl, wait a minute.
Right?
Wait a minute.
Especially all the biting and the touch, like, girl, congratulations.
And it's so weird. It's so weird to watch him do these scenes, and then you go to his IG page, and it's so wholesome.
Girl, yeah, they're both of them.
A wholesome guy.
Yeah, they're both church-going people. They always quoting scriptures and things.
Yeah.
On there, they're very heavily into church. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be doing these scenes and see how I'll just say passionately aggressive he can get.
The hand around the throat. Huh?
Girl, wait a minute. I forgot about that. And then Hope keep pulling that chain on his neck and all this kind of stuff. Girl, I'm like, I ain't never seen that type of chemistry between an actor and an actress across both of the soaps. Now, I don't watch GH and I don't watch Days. So I don't know if anything has been on that side of the world, but over here, I can't even think. I used to think that the whole Adam and Sharon thing about 4 years ago was decent, but not this. I haven't seen anybody to top this one.
Yeah. I feel like Finn and Steffi came close with that one scene where he had his hand on her throat for a little bit. But I still think...
Did we talk last week about Bill and Quinn?
We talked about Bill and Quinn. We talked about Bill and Steffi.
That was just chaotic. Bill and Quinn.
Yeah, that was crazy. They was tearing up the room.
Guess what though? Nobody said Ridge and Brooke.
Girl, come on.
No.
You just had to drop that one.
At all.
Ain't nobody thinking
of the moment, Bree.
Exactly. Yeah, Cheryl said Hope and Thomas are definitely fire and desire. I mean, they about to get carried on that couch. So you better hope Douglas don't come back over there.
Oh my God! So when Douglas came in and him and Hope went over to that couch and sat down, all I could think about was the fact that
are you all right, Bree?
They had just had sex on that couch, and now Douglas is sitting there.
Oh my God, girl!
I mean, well, do you know how many people been on that couch?
That's true. Didn't Carter and Katie have sex in there too?
Yeah,
or am
they
I
sure
tripping?
did. No, they did. Oh, wow. Oh, poor Douglas. That on the couch. Oh.
Girl, you so funny.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so let's kind of hunker down on that
Okay.
one scene that Thomas was like, "I love you." I'm like, "Oh, Thomas,
Ugh.
no, Thomas." And Hope
Jesus.
is looking at him like, "Really? I told you." And I'm like, "Girl, I don't think he." After hearing this conversation today, and then he talking about when we be together and when we
Mm-hmm.
get there, and I'm like, I hope you get there. You just better hope Liam don't bounce his way back over there.
And that's the thing. Sorry, go ahead, Bree.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's the thing with Hope is there was never ever a moment where she was prepared to leave Liam for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not after Rome, because she told him to forget about it. Not even after Liam found out. She still insisted on trying to make things work. And she asked Liam what 2 or 3 times to try to work it out.
Yep.
And so it was never, there was never a point where she was ready to leave Liam for Thomas.
I disagree.
You think so?
Well, I forget which week it was, but that week where we saw those 4 days and she was getting it on with him for 12 hours, she was ready to get signed. She had divorce papers ready the next day. She was ready.
The first thing she said to Liam when he walked in was, if there's any hope for our marriage, we need to have a discussion about XYZ.
Yeah.
So
before
to me, that told me
right.
that she was still hoping that Liam would change his mind.
Correct.
Even after that 12-hour sexcapade session that she had with Thomas. And she wasn't planning on telling Liam about that. She was going to keep that to herself. Yeah. Because she didn't want to ruin her chances of getting back with Liam if she could.
If that were the case, then why drop divorce papers at all? If she didn't have somewhere in the back of her mind that she was okay with leaving Liam, that she was okay with moving on from Liam, I think she's had so many opportunities in the past where she wanted to leave, and she even said, she told her mom, "I want to leave," but her mom kept bringing her back into that hopeless marriage over and over again. I think she just got tired. She's like, you know what? Either you take me back or you don't. I know where I can get it for 12 hours. And either we can stay together, we can make it work. If not, okay, cool. We can sign the papers. Great. I'm going to go right back over to Thomas, where I'm doing laps behind couches. So I'm good.
You know what? I honestly, girl, y'all so funny. I honestly think that if Liam had said, you know what, let's talk this out and work it out, she wouldn't have never pulled them papers out of her purse. She had it as a plan B.
I agree. And so, I think she did it out of spite and out of hurt because of those couple of discussions that she had with Liam, and Liam just not being willing to forgive her. But that's why I think.
That's where I disagree, because Liam has given her more reasons for her to file divorce papers besides just a kiss and these little arguments and getting her ego crushed.
Oh, I agree.
I feel like...
Can I interject here right here for a second, Bree? They still haven't filed those divorce papers yet. So and even though
that was going to be my next question is, have they even filed the papers?
No. And see, that's
because we still haven't heard anything about the divorce.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's why Brooke had so much hope, because they hadn't filed the papers. She had been singing that song and dance for the next 2 weeks after that. Because as much as she had those papers written up, Bree, they're only enforceable once they're filed in the county office that we're done. So she could easily have said, I'm not going to put these papers on the table. If he wants to work it out, fine. If he don't, I'm going to pull this up here. But she still never filed them, even though they signed them. It's never been filed, because even Carter was waiting for him.
And then she went back after Beth's party because she thought she had another chance with him. So it's like, why, after all this time has lapsed, and she even talked about still keeping not telling Liam about, her and Thomas sleeping together. So why, after all this time has lapsed, you've had some time with Thomas, you've basically, been rejected by Liam a couple of times already, and you still want to go back and try and see if there's a chance to make things work. And she still says, I'm not the one that wanted the divorce, he did.
Right.
And that's the thing that bothers me about it is Hope didn't want to leave Liam. Hope didn't want Liam to leave her. Like, she wanted her marriage to work out. She insists on saying that this isn't how I would have wanted things to turn out. This isn't how I wanted my life to turn out, or my family to turn out. So that's what makes me skeptical about this whole thing. On top of the fact that they have this whole friends with benefits thing that she keeps harping on. And I feel like what the show is doing is they're trying to give Hope an out if they decide that they don't want to actually make Thope a serious committed couple. If for some reason they change their mind and they decide,
I found this on the web first. That was my Siri. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Go ahead.
Then this is their way of not making Hope the bad guy and being the one that you let Thomas on this whole time. And it's like, nope, I didn't. I asked him if he was okay with it, and he was. And I told him that there was a chance that I may not fall in love with him, and unfortunately I didn't. So, you know what I mean? It's like they're trying to, they have that little out built in for her, so she's not made out to be the bad guy if they decide that they don't want things to work out with Thomas and Hope.
Yep, I'm
hoping that they don't go that direction, because I really want them to be together. Mm-mm. But it's making me nervous, because there's all these little things in there that make you think that maybe the show isn't going to go that direction.
Yeah, they're
waiting on something.
Yeah, they're giving her a backdoor strategy, an exit strategy, just in case. And the thing is, they're trying, to me, and it's so unfortunate because I think they're really good together. I honestly think is that they want Liam and Hope back together. It is what it is. They're Brook and Ridge 2.0, okay? And so what they're trying to do is have her not file those papers. She gonna have a little bit of fun with Thomas, but when Liam stroll his way back over to the little tiny cabin in the woods, she gonna take him back, and she gonna dump Thomas, and he gonna be so heartbroken, and she gonna be like Keisha said, well, you said that you could handle this. This is not on me, sir. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
I gotta disagree. Because for me, there's two things, because we're missing a whole variable. Liam doesn't want Hope.
Right now he doesn't.
He's all about Steffi. And when Jacqueline comes back, he's going to be all about Steffi. Hope knows when Liam's into a woman, that's his focus. She hasn't even been much of a thought, except for when other people bring up Hope. And I honestly feel the third person in Hope and Liam's marriage is Brooke. Brooke has been in Hope's ear as far as like always telling her to forgive him after each time he's cheated, each time that he's lied, each time that he's wronged her. And she has always been the voice in that relationship. Hope has been correct. She's confused. She doesn't know how she feels. She knows her mom has always been the cheerleader when it came to Hope and Liam, to the point where she feels that she should stick with Hope and Liam. She should stick with Liam. But at the same time, she wants a man to only want her. So I do feel like she's confused. She's testing the waters with Thomas. And maybe she is leaving a back door open to go back to Liam. But she's probably only going to do that for her mom's sake. Other than that, if it wasn't for her mom, she would have possibly moved on with Thomas. She would have moved on with the man who only wants her, and who's been given it to her whenever she wants, and giving it to her for 12 hours. I think that's better than going back to Liam, but that's just me. I really feel that she's just confused about how she feels. But Liam doesn't want that girl at all.
I don't think she's confused about how she feels. I think she's just still hurt, which is reasonable, right? It's reasonable for her to be hurt about her marriage breaking up, and I think she just needs to get through that pain before she allows herself to get into anything else serious, and that's understandable. But I guess the part of it I don't agree with is you. So her actions to me don't match her words. Her saying that basically this is only sex for me and nothing more, it doesn't match, because you don't just lay up and cuddle with your F buddy. You know what I mean? You going and getting what you want and then you leaving. You don't like divulge your desires and open yourself up emotionally to somebody that you're just banging and nothing else.
She's scared of her mom.
What you mean?
She's scared of what her mom would think for taking a man back.
Oh yeah.
That's really what it, for at least for me, that's what I feel it boils down to. And I feel like it's going to be a battle between Brooke and Douglas, because Hope is going to, a part of her probably wants to see what a family like would be like with Hope, Douglas, and Thomas. But Brooke really won't allow that.
Yeah, her mom absolutely has something to do with it. Because I think if her mom was just like, yeah, whatever makes you happy, I'll support you, I think her and Thomas probably would have already gotten together. Or at the very least, she would have been open to saying, let's see where this goes, instead of just saying, right now it's only sex for me and nothing else. I don't love you. Like, I'm not ready for anything else but for your body to be mine.
Yeah, I don't see how Hope could pull that off. Now, Audra can pull it off like a pro.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, she is a pro, yes.
Oh, Lord. But she can pull it off where Audra is like, I have my fun with you. I'm done. Keep it moving. Go back to your wife.
Right. That's somebody that does the friends with benefits or no strings attached thing perfectly. Mm-hmm. Is Audra. Hope isn't doing that, because Hope is expressing feelings to Thomas, or, her thoughts. She, the scene today where she was telling him to tell her how she's the only one he wants to be with. You don't need to hear that from somebody that you don't want strings with.
Yeah, well,
that's somebody that you want to be with, or that you want to see where things go at the very least.
I thought she used that as dirty talk. I thought she used that whole statement. Tell me I'm the only one. It's almost like saying my name type of thing. I thought she wanted that as dirty talk.
I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as she enjoyed hearing that, because that was something that she never got from Liam, because of his divided heart. I didn't look at it as dirty talk. That to me almost felt, and I'm not saying that Hope is a narcissist, but that felt a little narcissistic to me, because she knows that this man is deeply in love with her, but she's been telling him for the past couple of weeks, I'm not in love with you, I'm not ready for that yet. But then you want him to tell you that you're the only one that he wants to be with. That's not somebody that you have a no strings arrangement with. Like, you don't talk like that to somebody that you don't want any of that extra stuff with. Those aren't the words that you use.
Yeah, I feel like being at Hope is kind of new to doing something like that. She hasn't had a chance to look at her mom's playbook. I agree with Letitia. I feel like when she was asking, like, tell me I'm the one, that's dirty talk for Hope. So she gets her ego stroked from that. I do agree with you, though, Keisha, that you don't do any of this with a man that you just want, you won't have any feelings for. Mm-hmm. She has feelings for these men, but she still lives on her mom's property, on that cabin, and she has her mom in that ear still. And I think it's going to take for Hope to kind of either break away from her mom and be like, hey, I want to explore this. If it's wrong for me, it's wrong for me. Let me make my own mistakes. I think her mom would be able to respect that. But once again, Brooke has to compete with Douglas. Douglas is going to be heavy in Hope's ear. And what's Brooke going to do? She's going to tell her grandson, no, I don't want her with her dad.
Yeah. You know what? I would respect the situation a lot more if Hope was honest with herself and would just tell Thomas, like, you're right, I do have feelings for you. I'm just not ready for a commitment yet because my divorce isn't even final. Like, I'm still hurt from things that happened with Liam. I'm going to need time to get through that. I would have rather heard her say that and be completely honest than to say, I just want a no strings arrangement. I don't love you. Because that's not how she's acting.
Here's my question. What happens with when Liam finds out that she's been sleeping with Thomas?
Yeah, because he still don't know that part. He can't even stand the fact that they kissed.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I need his heart broken. I need him to walk in.
Me too. I was so mad. I wouldn't care for Brooke to see it. I want Liam to walk in.
Liam would lose his mind.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we still have not had that as an option yet.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love for him to lose his mind if he was to walk in, seeing the two of them, like Brooke has seen them twice already. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, only reason why I think it's not going to go anywhere is because of the fact that Bell just he caters. So I mean, they're going to probably have their fun for a while. It depends on what Steffi does. If Steffi ends up back with her husband, you know, and tell Liam to kick rocks, Liam don't like being single very long. And so he's going to do probably like his dad did. Well, hey, I can't get Brooke. Let me switch over and see what Katie got going on. He'd probably do the same thing and say, well, Hope don't want to let me go. She said, let's work out the marriage. Let me go back over here and sit with my tail between my legs and try to fix that. And that's where going to be the deciding factor on whether or not Belle is going to bring back Liam and Hope, or push this thing with Thomas and Hope, which the fans are saying Thomas and Hope, but depending on what they're going to do.
It would be a huge mistake if they don't explore the Thomas and Hope, like, committed relationship down the line.
I think they're going to do that because there's no way Liam's going to want to go back to Hope knowing that she slept with Thomas. Not immediately. I feel like it's going to be about another year or so before Hope and Liam is really a thought. And plus, they've been pushing Finn and Liam fighting over Steffi already. So, and they're going to see that through. And so I think we're going to get some Hope and Thomas. I think we're going to see Brooke miserable. And I can't wait to see that.
But the problem with that is that these two couples are still very married. It'd be different if one of the two of them or both of them are headed to divorce court. They didn't sign and file the papers. Liam and Hope are still legally married. Steffi and Finn are still legally married. Whether Liam is sniffing around or Thomas is sleeping with Hope, these two couples are still legally married. So they can always, the way that the writers could put it, is to just say, you know what, I'm just going to fix my marriage, and then we'll end up on a whole different storyline somewhere else. You know, so I
really hope they don't.
I hope they don't do that, but I just, knowing how it's been a Logan catered type of show, I mean, the question still remains: is Taylor going to still be here after December? Because the contract is up. You know, so I mean, that's been swirling around. You know, stuff like that. So I don't know. We have to. I'm hoping they keep Dope. It would be nice.
But I think they're gonna do it.
Well, somebody got to get a divorce. Somebody.
I think that's going to happen because, I mean, divorces mean nothing on BEB because Ridge was married to Brooke and he let a whole Pinecone make his decision. He was chasing after Taylor, sleeping with her in what, Colorado, Aspen, wherever. So he didn't care about a divorce.
Did they even get married? I thought they weren't married. Because he turned around and was about to marry Taylor when they got back to L.A. Was he even still married to... No, they didn't. They did not get married because they were about to, but it never happened because she got caught kissing Bill in the cabin by Quinn. So remember that whole engagement party that they had, and then that
Oh, I
secret
remember
came
that.
out,
Yeah.
and they
Yep.
never made it back to the marriage.
No, they were married. Because remember, they had to file, Ridge made her file an annulment after he said he was going back to Taylor.
I don't think they got
They've had
big
so much back
I
and
don't remember.
forth. This is like the
because
worst.
he ran off and married Shauna drunk. Remember, and then he got that annulled, and then they hadn't had a wedding since then. That Shauna thing happened in 2020 or 2021, something like that. They were trying to make it back, and they didn't. They never got married. Then we had the whole Deacon thing with her kissing Santa Claus, and all of that stuff had happened, and then they broke up. He beat the Pope out of Deacon in the closet back there, and and then they separated again, so they never actually made it back to that, which is why they're trying to get married now. He was going to marry Taylor last year in November. That didn't happen in 2022. So they never technically got married since, when did they get that before the whole Quinn thing. They were about to, but it didn't happen. He ran off and got married with Shauna.
These are two of the messiest characters in daytime history.
With a
You
capital M.
You described a horrible tennis match. I have never seen marriages, divorces, all this being ping pong amongst two grown individuals. That's why Brooke annoys me the most. Mm-hmm. She's done the most and has the gall to call out people. And for what? You won the prize. You got your ridge. You got your ridge. Why are you in other people's business, of all things? But I've never seen two messy people in my life. I've never seen it. And this all happened within a couple of years, and we've had almost over 30 years worth of mess. I'm just like,
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but nobody's talked about that wedding since what, 3, 4 weeks ago?
Great.
She was designing her own dress, and we ain't heard nothing about the wedding. Neither is it in the fall previews.
Hopefully that continues to be a thing where we don't hear about that wedding.
Or they get married off screen. Great.
Yeah. I'm good with an off screen marriage. Just pop up one day and y'all are coming back from your honeymoon or whatever.
And at this point, Brooke does not need anything white adjacent. No, every dress should be black while she goes down the aisle, or red, or pink, or something other than white. She has the gall, the nerve. But yeah, let's get married off screen in this call today.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna even make it down the aisle. Because, I mean, they're not really so focused on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I would like for them to keep Taylor around past her contract negotiations in December. I hope so. We need more of her. I mean, you finally got somebody who fills Hunter Tylo's shoes and does a good job as playing Taylor. Let her stick around for a while. They keep getting Taylor, and then she disappears, and then she come back, and then she disappears again. And I know that was with the previous actress, but now you got somebody who can be consistent. Let's keep her around, and she's good.
Yeah, I love her.
And nominated for a Daytime Emmy this year.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, Keish, go ahead.
I was going to say, how do you guys think she's going to react? Because apparently she finds out about Hope and Thomas next week.
Mm-hmm. She's not going to be happy about it, and she's going to take action against them, too.
This is where Brooke and Taylor might team up.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because they're going to feel the same way for different reasons, of course. Neither one of them trusts the other's child. So, but I feel like Taylor is more likely to eventually accept it. Like if they keep with the Thomas Hope relationship, I think once Hope admits to being in love with Thomas, I think then Taylor will accept it. I don't think she's going to accept it until that happens, because she's going to be worried, of course, about her son's, mental health and his emotions and all that kind of stuff, knowing that he's in love with Hope and she's not in love with him. So of course she's going to be angry about that. And I've seen people on like IG and Twitter say that we're making Thomas out to be a victim in this. And nobody's saying that Thomas is a victim. We're just saying their arrangement just isn't smart because of how much he is in love with her, and Hope doesn't feel the same way.
And if we're talking about, and I'll piggyback off of that, if we're talking about manipulation, wouldn't Hope be the puppet master in this case? Because she's well aware of the fact that he has had a mental issue, that he is going through therapy, that he was obsessed with her. Like, she, if anything, has set the tone saying, hey, this is what I want from you. Can you deal with this? And she's addressed it each and every time. So he's going along with it. So no one's making him out to be a victim. It's just sucky because she knows the guy has had a mental issue, and she's still, playing with his heart in this case.
You know what?
I feel like it never should have been. She never should have even offered this to him. She should have waited until she was ready to explore something with him, in my opinion, to be intimate with him.
See, this is why Hope doesn't realize what waters she's treading in with this situation. As fun as it is to watch, as Victor says, she's playing a dangerous game. And the thing is like Audra know what to do. If this was Kyle saying what Thomas said today, Audra would be like, nope, we can't do this. She would stop it. Just like she's doing right now. Granted, it's because of her job and she want to keep all of that. But she knows that this can't go no further. I can't keep doing this with you.
Right.
Hope is like, I want to keep hearing it. Tell me. Right. Yeah. She wants to hear it instead of, this man just told you he's in love with you. This is what you've been afraid of, which is why you keep asking him, are you sure? Are you sure? Can you handle it? I don't love you. Da, 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 da. There is no way. If I'm not in love with somebody, I ain't finna keep sitting up there listening to this person say I'm in love with me. You know what? Right. If they're telling me that, I'd be like, no, this is a little bit too much for me. I'm gonna have to take a step back.
Right.
Yep.
Which is, again, that's why her actions aren't matching her words. I don't believe that she just wants the no strings thing. It's more than that for her, and she's just not admitting it.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, because these parents, here's the other thing. They're supposed to be the week of October 2nd. There's supposed to be an impulsive and romantic proposal of marriage is made.
Lord.
Exactly. Now it
better not be Thomas.
Listen,
it
girl.
Better not be.
It's only two sets of couples that could be. That's either going to be Deacon and Sheila, if there's this whole thing with her being so excited, or it's going to be Thomas and Hope. That's the only two folks that I can think of.
And this is why it was so cringy today for me. Like watching Thomas tell her again how much he loves her, how she's the only one for him. Mm-hmm. The line about how you also have a family here with me and Douglas. And it's like, dude, she knows how you feel about her because you've told her every day for the last however many months. Like, she knows. She gets it. Mm-hmm. You don't need to keep repeating yourself. And I hate that they have him repeating that line to her over and over again when she doesn't feel the same way. And like, I love Thomas to death. He's one of my faves. Taylor and her kids are my favorite people on that show. But I'm tired of them making him look so pathetic. And the thing that he has over Adam, because I know that we were saying Thomas and Adam both look, like simps or whatever. The thing that Adam has over him is that he's explored other relationships.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In recent history. Like, I know that Thomas was at Caroline before. Um, who else was he with?
Sally.
Sally. So, like, yes, he has had other relationships, but in the last 4 years, they have only had him laser focused on Hope, and that's it. So it, it's like there's nothing else outside of her for him. They have created nothing else outside of Hope Logan for Thomas's storyline. So it's like either this is going to work out in his favor, or we're going to go back to Thomas just being lonely Thomas, pining after a woman that he can't have.
Right. Yeah.
And now, if they do bring on somebody else for him, within the next year or two or whatever, I feel like it's not even gonna feel real, because for 4 years, all we've heard him say is that Hope is the only one for him. He doesn't love anybody else. He doesn't want to be with anybody else. It's just her.
Gotcha.
So it would be weird to put him with anybody else now.
What you think, Bree?
He's always been in love with Hope. There has been different Thomases that I remember who was always confessing the love for Hope. I think Thomas has always been a part of the mix between Hope and Liam, same way Steffi has. And it's always been like a buzzkill when we see like a really good looking Thomas, because there's been 4 of them. And he doesn't have like a romantic storyline that lasts longer than 2 months. He had a little thing with Ivy, like you said, a little thing with Sally, and Caroline was his main relationship, and that's pretty much it. We've been asking for like a love interest for years, and we've been teased by spoilers and the writers, and for years we're going to get a new love interest for Thomas. Okay, if we're not going to get one, then give us Hope and Thomas. Let us at least see that aspect for you to say no to it, and then not give him anyone for a love interest.
Yeah, I feel like the difference between this Thomas and Adam Gregory Thomas, which was the first adult Thomas that was on the show, was even though he was in love with Hope, he didn't grovel like this Thomas does. Like, he would still give Hope the business as far as, like, telling her about herself when he needed to.
That's true.
And this Thomas, there's been a small moment where, they were at odds when it came to Douglas, where, him and Hope were going at it or whatever. But for the most part, this Thomas has done nothing but constant, like, just overdoing the praise when it comes to her, putting her on this pedestal of perfection, and it's all the time, and it's so freaking annoying. Like, we know how he feels about her. We don't need him gushing about her in every line of his dialogue. That's pretty much what he does.
Hey, Keisha, remember how he said for the last 3 years, I'm a one-woman man?
Yes, girl, when he didn't even have a chance with her.
Right.
This was when Hope wasn't even thinking about Thomas in that way, when she pretty much hated him. And he was still giving her the line of, I'm a one-woman man. It's like, this girl does not want you. I mean, she does now. But back then, it's like, why they just insisted on having him look like a dang on fool.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing they did with Steffi for years when it came to Liam. They always had her looking pathetic up until the point where Hope left the country and she wasn't an option. And then Liam decided to just be focused on her. That was the only period of time up till the cheating scandal with Bill that Steffi finally didn't look like a fool when it came to Liam. And then when the cheating thing happened and Hope came back to town, she went right back to looking like that fool again until Finn came on the scene. Yeah. It's like, I feel like they just get a kick out of making Taylor's kids look like idiots when it comes to the love interest on the show.
Yeah, a really good way to shake this thing up, but like you say, after today's episode, I think it just wouldn't look right, is to give Thomas one of the models, let's go on a date, something like that. But he didn't put on the line about how much in love he is, and then he was talking about I'm gonna sit around and wait for you and all this sort kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm like, have a model flow through there and say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I mean, he could have been like, nope, I'm good with this. We ain't got, it's just us having fun and whatnot. And I'm just going to do me, you do you. We'll come together, blah, blah, blah. And have a little model come through there, Petra or whatever her name is. And Hope is looking some kind of way because they're going out to dinner. That's how they could have did that, to give her a little bit of, oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. But no, you got him talking about, oh, so in love with you. And me and Douglas and you and I, we can be a family. And I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to always be here. And I'm like, oh, Thomas. And she's sitting up there just looking at him. And then come back with, say it again, that I'm the only one. I'm like, okay.
And she's gorgeous.
He is.
She what now?
I said, he's gorgeous. He should not be begging for nothing. Nothing.
Just like we said about Adam, stop begging Sally. It just sucked. I mean, even Kyle, that whole thing where he was talking about, what's wrong with you? Why you don't want to touch me, when they was in the park? And she was like, back up, dude. Don't touch me. Back up. What's wrong with you? You don't want to touch me? Like, no, she don't want to touch you, dude. She, it's over. I don't know. It just sucks. It's just bad.
Just the way they built up to this, this little thing between Thomas and Hope it's been awful. Like, there's so many different ways they could have done this that would have been much better than what we have right now. Because what else can they do with Thomas's character? Because he's just so diehard for Hope.
Yep, you backed him into a corner. Either you write him into a bad villain in the corner, and then you write him into a corner of being Hope's love interest. Because I'm telling you, at some point, Liam is going to come back around. It's inevitable. This is what they do.
That's true. But I feel if they're really pushing this narrative where it's to the point where this girl slept with Thomas, there's no way Liam's going to come back to the girl immediately. So at least give us Hope and Thomas. Let's at least see that. And if he screws up for cheating, or if he even looks at a woman a different type of way after, trying to say he's all about Hope, then we'll give him the business. But let's actually see a healthy relationship. Let's see them actually build some natural chemistry outside of sex.
Hey, Bree, let me tell you how they can flip it really quick like that. If he turns around and he says, you know what, after reflecting, you've forgiven me so many times over the years, you know what, I should be able to forgive you. I've been going back in between you and Steffi for the longest. And you know what, I've done some horrible things and cheated and paternity tests. So, you know what, I'll forgive you this one time. Boom. Bella have them back together.
And Hope better be like, okay, so since I forgave all of that, please understand, please forgive me from all the nights I've been in Thomas's bed. I'm running from him. He's having me run behind couches. He's giving me 12 hours. Would you be able to forgive me for all of the nights?
Bree, do you think?
Child Hope, she would not.
That's what I was just going to say. She going to the grave.
She's still trying to keep it a secret.
I know.
That girl going to the grave with that one.
She sure is.
Well, no, because there's other people who know that she slept with Thomas.
You think Brooke ain't gonna say nothing to Liam?
Reg knows.
Well, Taylor, but you know what Taylor knows next week. I don't know. We'll see, girl.
That's gonna come out.
I can't see any of the parents letting Hope or letting Liam know that they slept together.
I feel it's something might slip out in conversation because too many people already know about it besides the two people doing it. Ridge knows, and also Ridge knows that Liam has feelings for Steffi, or at least he's already professed it to his dad, professed it to Ridge. So that's going to eventually come out. I think all the facts is going to come into play. And if Liam can't accept that she slept with Thomas and he's making a run like that, then that's over with. He's going after Steffi.
Well, we'll see, girls. We most definitely will see, but for the moment, I guess we'll just enjoy the dope scenes.
Yeah, now those I can watch day in and day out. they go ahead and continue doing those. I do, however, I don't like the parent tracking thing, only because we know what Hope's feelings are, and I don't want her to make a decision based on. I don't want it to be, oh, I have to make Douglas happy. I want to make Douglas happy. Like, if she's going to develop real feelings for Thomas, I want it to be her doing it, and not because she was, influenced by Douglas.
Right.
I don't like that. Not in this situation.
Well, she's being influenced by her mom to stay away from Thomas. I mean, she's being pulled the same direction. She just needs to stand 10 toes down and say, like, look, if she wants to explore it, then she needs to just be happy and say, and just take the chance.
You would think. Yeah, we'll see. All right, did we cover everything this week? Or besides, was Luna on this week?
I forgot.
So.
I think she was on previous week. Yeah, I don't remember seeing her this week. Basically, we had the Deacon, Lee, and Sheila, and then Thomas, Hope, and Douglas, and Brooke catching them, and then Brooke and her sisters. So, okay, cool. All right, so let us move it on as we kind of get toward the end of the show. We got to do we're flipping the script and taking several seats. So for those that are new here, our flip the script segment is if there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, this is where we flip the script. So who want to go first for the Young and the Restless?
I can go.
Go ahead.
Mine is just a little simple one. Phyllis would have not gotten involved in this thing with Tucker.
No.
She would have stuck to her guns and instead accepted the offer from Daniel.
Yep, I agree. What you got, Bree?
That meeting between Victor and Victoria, instead of him giving her the option to either stay or go, he should have fired her. Because you don't talk to the owner of the company that way. He's giving you a position, and if you don't like it, he should have just fired her. That way none of his kids work at that company.
My flip the script is when Billy saw Phyllis going up them stairs, he should have went right up there behind her and be like, I got you. He pretended.
Oh, that's right, because he did watch her go up them steps, didn't he?
Yeah, he pretended like he walked through the revolving door and then went back to look through the window and Phyllis was running upstairs to Tucker's room. He should have followed her up there and be like, what you think you doing? Yeah, I mean, he been trying to scout around town trying to figure out what's going on. He would have got at least part of his answer right there.
She was looking all extra suspicious, like, girl, just...
Well, I mean...
don't know how to be subtle.
She doesn't. She should have waited at that bar, maybe even ordered a glass of water or something, just to drink it for a while to make sure the coast is clear. Even go peep outside the revolving door. And then as soon as she reared her head up, Billy reared his head up. They looking dead in each other's face. That would have been hilarious. But okay, so what y'all got for bold?
My bold flip would have been confrontation with RJ, Thomas, and Ridge when they were at the office.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like Thomas was asking or making logical points about Eric trying to develop another couture line. Mm-hmm. And RJ was getting kind of snippy with him.
Actually, he gut punched both of them.
Yeah, and I feel like when everybody else has had this conversation with RJ, he's been, calm. But for whatever reason, when Thomas brings it up with him, it was like he got a little snippy. So I would have liked to have seen...
Keisha, was he lying? Because they are riding on his legacy. That's what he told them. He said, while y'all doing all that over there and thinking about what he can't do, y'all creating a whole couture line on Eric's legacy. I'm like, oh.
And so what I didn't like about that is everybody keeps giving Eric credit and nobody is even mentioning Stephanie, who he couldn't have done any of it without her money.
Ooh.
And I get where they're coming from because they're Eric's creations and designs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Eric got it started and he helped keep it going, but he's not the only one.
But wait a minute,
Rich has contributed too?
Didn't Ridge and Eric, when he came over to the house, they did talk about Stephanie? That was on either Monday or Tuesday's episode.
Like Monday, Tuesday episode.
Yeah. They did. They had a conversation about Stephanie.
Well, I didn't like the way he talked to Thomas. So.
Keisha said, I don't care. I don't like it.
I wish Thomas would have shot back at him a little more than what he did. Because he just kind of backed off of him. And Ridge was standing back there looking all goofy.
Oh, my God. What you got for your flip for Bold, Bree?
I want to know what the hell happened between Hope and Thomas and Brooke. I want to know, did Brooke leave? Did she cry in her office? Did she have a panic attack? Was Hope and Thomas, did they get it back on the desk, on the table, on the floor? Did they take it back to his house? I need that whole episode.
Yeah, they took, we lost a chunk of time out of that one. I don't know. That was Monday. We went to Tuesday and it was a whole different scene. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened? So yeah, I don't blame you for that flip, Bree. My flip would have been, honestly, I kind of want Thomas to kind of like, say, okay, you know what? I hear you. We can be, F buddies, but I'm going to see other people too. Are you okay? Since you want me to be okay with this, you okay with that? See what Hope has to say about that one. I don't think she would be okay with that, though.
Yeah, but Thomas ain't doing that.
I know that, but that's why it's my flip.
He been telling this woman for 3 years that she's the only one.
I know, right?
Ain't nobody taking him serious.
Tell me about it. Okay. All right. So Mary says, flip the script. Nikki fires Audra. Let's see. What else do we have? Any other flips? Oh, ID say flip the script. Sheila reveals she overheard about the Rome kisses. That probably is coming out maybe in the next week or two. That probably would be nothing this week. Yeah, because I'm hearing rumors about some eavesdropping happening next week. So, let's see. Okay. People are waiting to see what Brooke was going to do, and they glossed over it. Yeah, they just left it flat, Jenna. I agree. Okay, so what y'all got for who's taking seats? For Young and the Restless?
Phyllis.
Who says that?
Me.
Oh, Keisha. Okay. Who you got, Bree?
I have put Kyle in a seat. Put him in a dog pound. I hope he learns his lesson from this and just starts making better decisions. I'll be nice to him this week.
Okay. If I had to put somebody in a seat, it would be Victoria.
Because I thought you were gonna say Sally.
Girl, I know Sally. Girl, I ain't even giving her time of day this week. She already in the corner somewhere. I'm gonna say Victoria and her insubordination. It's like, girl, who you talking to? And then all she did was kept agitating Victor, and Victor got even more mad. It's like, girl, do you know who that man is? He don't take nothing off of nobody, and that includes you. As he told her, you can leave. You don't like it here? Get the French toast out. Um, all right. So I think we did all. Oh, bold flip. Who y'all got? I mean, seats. Who you got?
Um, Ridge and Eric can both take a seat, talking about RJ being the most talented designer, artist, or whatever at Forrester Creations. RJ, who popped out of the sky with his social media crap, is suddenly a brilliant designer.
Exactly. Who you got, Bree?
I would say Brooke take a seat, but I don't want to give her a reward. So I'm going to give Liam a seat. He's been off screen, and I would like to keep it that way. It's been pleasant for my eyesight.
Listen, I'm gonna get a writers and the filmography team a seat for having my head jump time for missing an episode. It's like, what did y'all do? How did y'all just go from Monday to Tuesday without Brooke's reaction? Yeah, so I'm gonna have to talk to the film department and the production team. Y'all go sit down and look at that episode and tell me where y'all went wrong at, because we missing something.
So I wonder if it was a scene that they shot and they just cut, or if they just didn't even bother shooting that scene.
Girl, why would they cut it? Because everybody was wondering what was next when Brooke confronted them. Okay? It's one thing if they were still in the office. These people had a whole new set of clothes.
Yeah, it was a new day.
It was a whole different day. Brooke she didn't made it from that office where Hope and Thomas was all the way over to Eric's front room. In less than what? Because that was at the end of Monday's episode. By Tuesday episode at the beginning, everybody was in a different place in different outfits. I'm like, what happened? So yeah, that's why I'm gonna have him take a seat for that one. That was crazy. All right, we got some seats in this comment section. So Mary says Tucker take a seat. Ron says Audra, Kyle, and Tucker. Jenna says Tucker should take a seat, and Kyle, Jack, and Billy should take a seat, and Victoria and Nikki should take a seat. Belinda said Nikki needs to take a seat with Victoria. Dewan says Nikki take a seat. Let me see. Ron says Brooke and Hope. Jenna says Ridge and Brooke should take a seat, and RJ and Liam. Jenna says Ridge, Brooke, Liam, and RJ should take a seat. Brooke take a seat. Brad Bell take a seat, according to Ron. Let's see. Jenna says Brooke, Ridge, RJ. Jenna also says, yes, Ron, Brad Bell should take 2 seats, and so should Josh Griffith. And Belinda says Ridge, Carter, Brooke, Sheila, and RJ. And Delmonica said, we got hoodwinked by the writers on that Caught in the New Clothes episode. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. They threw me off big time, because I was looking forward to that the next day, and we didn't get nothing. So, all right, ladies, it's a good show. We've been on here almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. I can't believe it went by so fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Keish, you being on next week? Or you got stuff to do or what?
My mom's birthday is next Friday, so no, I won't be on.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, also, thank you. A couple other things. Happy belated birthday to none other than Jay Money. His birthday was this week.
Happy birthday, Jay.
I think it was on Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, the 18th.
Happy birthday. Belated.
And then we got to send our condolences. Our condolences. Unfortunately, Billy Miller passed away last Friday. And he was battling, from what I understand, a very long illness, or illness that he was diagnosed with a couple years ago. So it was complications from that. So, sending his mom did a full video, and I know that the other media outlets have been posting it. So, we'll send condolences to the YNR staff, GH staff, and his friends and family. So, he was so young. He was only 43. He would have been 44 on Sunday.
He's my age. Yep.
On the 17th, he would have been 44. So, yep.
He's such a good actor. My favorite Billy.
What I didn't know is him and Elizabeth Hendrickson dated.
I didn't know that either. I saw some of her posts on her story. I didn't realize they were in a relationship at one point.
Yeah, now she done got married and had some kids, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, so. Yeah, because I know there was some people that were saying some horrific things that, he deleted himself and stuff like that. Those types of things are unacceptable. Until you know the facts, please, 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 because I heard that same thing, and I'm glad that the truth came out. So, yeah, it was nothing of that sort. So, just to clear that up. And like I said, his mom did a tribute to her son, and it's on YouTube. It's also in other soap media outlets as well, if you want to check it out. So,
my condolences.
Yeah, definitely.
Jackie posted a Catch It Before It Goes Away, because Jackie posted her in the baby.
I saw it
in her stories. I actually was able to download it, and it's on my TikTok for CBS Soap Dish Recap. So you can check it out.
That woman is gorgeous when she's like no makeup.
Mm-hmm.
She's so pretty. I mean, she's pretty with makeup too, but it's amazing like how naturally beautiful she is.
Yeah, and look like she didn't snap back already. She was breastfeeding her baby. So hopefully she'll be back pretty soon. Jackie don't stay gone long.
Right.
She want to get back.
It's Jenna's birthday this week too.
Oh yeah, Jenna had a birthday. Yes, it was a lot of Virgos.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Jenna.
Yep. I think Michelle Stafford had a birthday. And because who else? It's quite a few people.
I think what's the actress name that plays Abby? I thought I saw it was her
Melissa Ordway.
No, her birthday is in April.
I thought somebody posted something about telling her happy birthday.
Yeah, Eric Braden, Melody Scott, and Melissa Ordway. Their birthdays are all within the first 3 weeks of April. Just like Mark Grossman, Josh Morrow, and Sharon Case, their birthdays are all in that first and second week of February.
I can't remember who that post was that I saw then.
I'm trying to think who else could it been? I don't know. Okay. But I think that's all the announcements that I had this week. Birthdays and, of course, everything else that we talked about. So, yep. All right, you guys, we're going to close it out here. Maybe we'll do the, what did I call that?
Brittany's birthday.
Oh, yeah, Brittany Sarpy. Yep. Yeah, we can't forget about her either. I'll do the lesser of two evils thing probably in the next live, or the one when Keisha gets back or something like that. Because, yeah, we've been on here almost 3 hours, so.
It's also the actor that plays Daniel's birthday, too.
Romalati? You talking about Daniel?
Young Daniel.
Oh, okay. Well, Michael Graziati, I think his name is, right? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it was a lot of birthdays the past 2-3 weeks, so. All right, you guys, we're going to end it here, and stay tuned for the full spoilers and recaps for the rest of the week. And until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.